Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard this evening as we get set up for game number 5 against the LA Kings. The Edmonton Oilers looking to close out the series up 3-1 entering the action tonight. A win tonight is 4 and done for the LA Kings as things will get underway around 8:20 this evening for the Edmonton Oilers and Kings, who will drop that puck at that time. But first off, we got the anthems. First off, we got a whole just about 50-minute pregame run prior puck drop as the Oilers and Kings will kick things off here in a matter of, as I said, 50 minutes. Glad to have you aboard this evening, friends, as we once again gear up for playoff hockey for the first time in a little bit, full way through a game because, guess what? That airport duty on Friday night there, or Sunday night, whatever it was, taken care of, and now we are ready for Edmonton Oilers hockey midweek after a 2-day break, and the Oilers looking to take care of business against the LA Kings. So what I'll also caution you, friends, for some of you might be wondering, what the heck's going on? Why does this guy keep wearing the same Oilers plaid shirt every single game that I've been watching? Well, hence you've only been watching since game 3, if that's your thought. Number 2, hey, superstitions come out at this time of year, and what I'll tell you about this one this evening is simply, right, I made the promise right off the hop in that Oilers jersey that ain't on the wall right now, the reverse retro from last year. We will rock a top until we lose in it, and obviously this is going on game number 3 in this thing. It's covered in cat hair. It's not starting to smell yet, but I'm sure after tonight, especially if we see some overtime, thing might get a little smelly here by the end of the game. So we'll see what happens here, friends, as the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings for sure are likely going to make us sweat it out down the stretch here this evening as the Oilers look to, for the first time all 3 years against the LA Kings, close out the series in just 5 games. Oh, how sweet that would be. Friends, to the chat will go for this evening's, of course, chatter, I guess you could say. Jeff, Alan, welcome aboard. Brian and Kevin and Toast as well, as everybody joins in here in the chat right now. And again, friends, those early birds of you right now joining along, I'm going to ask that big favor of you. You see what happened late in game 3, late in game number 4. If you haven't already left a like, you know where I'm headed with that. Leave a like on the stream. Let's get crazy in here tonight. I'm not promising overtime, but I would not mind any bit at all some overtime between the Oilers and Kings to settle up this series here tonight. Lots of Oilers fans out and in Ice District Plaza for the Moss Pit for this evening's hockey game. And there again is Banjo Guy getting ready to get things going inside the building tonight. The orange and blue brass crew out there in downtown Edmonton. It's a little wet, I guess you could say. We'll spare the other word, but it's a little wet in downtown Edmonton as it is across the province here today, and it feels good, right? Last year this time we were talking about wildfires driving people out of their homes, and this year everybody seems for the most part to be back home, safe down, being able to watch the game on the comfort of their own couch, and we're getting the rainy season out of the way here in Alberta, so that too is a huge bonus for us Edmonton Oilers fans this year. Gene Principe being our in-game host for round 1 is also a huge bonus for us Edmonton Oilers fans. You would assume that if Vancouver does advance or if Nashville advances, it will be Scott Oake who takes over the series from Gene after round 1. He, of course, covering the Winnipeg Jets and Colorado Avalanche, which has finished up. So again, to the chat here this evening, Justin, welcome in. CS, welcome in. And Robin, welcome aboard as well, as I'm seeing some score predictions here, friends. We'll get to all that as we continue along here this evening. Alexander, welcome in, and Margaret as well, as we get fired up for what is going to be a pretty good game tonight. I think we're going to be excited to see what the Oilers can do tonight against the LA Kings and what the Oilers kind of have in store for us when it comes to doing kind of what they need to win this hockey game. Prism, welcome in as well, as we are getting things going here this evening, friends. We are, like I said, about, I guess you could say, call it 45 minutes until puck drop. 8:20 the official puck drop, so if you need to go do some things, some laundry, some vacuuming. I don't know. You need to run to the store and grab a frozen pizza and cook it at the same time. Figure it out. You got 45 minutes to go this evening as the Edmonton Oilers will try and, of course, bring this one home tonight. Up 3-1 in the series. This is the potential clincher for the Oilers in round one, and we'll see what they do with it. As like I said last night in the video, it's not technically, mathematically, by any means a must-win for the Oilers, but you see kind of the headlines, right, as the fiasco in Canadian media is, and when it comes to a Canadian sports team having a chance to win a series, is Toronto wins Game 5 in Boston, takes it home for Game 6 to try and tie the series, and now all of a sudden what was everybody was writing the obituaries for Toronto's core four. All of a sudden now Toronto's going to win the series in 7. There's no way they can. Oh my God, they're so good. They're going to do it. They showed up. Blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? If the Oilers lose this one tonight, everybody in LA, everybody in Hollywood's writing that about the LA Kings. So we can't afford for that to happen, and therefore it is a must-win for the Oilers. No longer can this series carry on for the betterment of the team, the betterment of obviously the fans, and as well the betterment of going into round 2 rested and ready to roll against Nashville, Vancouver. Elliot Friedman said today he had Nashville and Vancouver going 7, so we are well on our way. Friends, again, no holds bar. The Pepsi comes out, as I don't know if any of you caught right off the bat there a little bit of yawning from me, so we'll see where we go from here. So we are running along for the start of the stream here, friends. Just about 7 minutes in, so not very deep into the stream as of yet, but glad to have you, as always, aboard as we're looking for a big night. Obviously, this is Game 5, an elimination game. I'm sure a lot of eyeballs on this game, and I'm looking forward to having the play-by-play call for you as well as we get set up for what should be, like I'm saying, it should be an awesome game. And they're talking about most saves in a shutout in Edmonton Oilers history. I saw Cujo on there. That would pretty much figure if you're an Oilers fan, as he will be mentioned anytime the Oilers did any kind of crazy most stat in the NHL playoffs. Brian, advantages the Oilers. We have already won 3 games. That's right now, right? The Oilers have the advantage and have the ability to close this one out, but tonight you got to do that job. Jenko, predictions for this one. I think, I don't know if I've led you guys to believe this yet or not. I think the Oilers do indeed close it out tonight. It's simply they have just kind of dominated LA, and I don't think LA necessarily has any tricks left after 4 games, right? I mean, LA has done everything LA can do as a team, everything they can throw at you possibly, except for more hits to try and win a hockey game. Yeah, I guess they came within a goal of forcing overtime last game out, but for the Oilers, you got to remember they kept them without a shot in the last 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. And you're going to do that again tonight. The LA Kings aren't going to be able to muster much, if anything, at all against this Edmonton Oilers team. So, yeah, this is where we are at, friends. We are rolling here tonight into the pregame portion. It is the Oilers and LA Kings on the, whatchamacallit, on the Hockey Night in Canada, or whatever, the pregame panel, whatever they want to call it nowadays. Avery, welcome in as well, missing you there earlier, and Northern Farm Girl joining the chat as well. If I'm ready, I don't know if I'm ready for this one, but I'm going to try and get ready. That's what the Pepsi is about. Trying to get the yawning away. I had a little bit of fun road trip in the snow, I guess you could say, after work. Had to go to another town and make a pickup, so it was an interesting go out there on QE2. A little bit of wet roads, a little bit of slush, a little bit of everything out there, but we handled it no problem. And Jim, welcome in as well with the all caps. Let's go Oilers. You'll love to see it. And Cam, welcome aboard. As I'll tell you this here right now, is it is not a tie for the Oilers. What that indeed is an overtime loss. So, right, the NHL sticking with the regular season format of the 3 columns, and that one being a overtime loss following game number 2 against the LA Kings. I'm not a fan of how it's done on Sportsnet. It should be 3-1 straight up, right? That's how it gets counted in the playoffs, but never mind me. I have no real control over that one. We'll survive though, and we'll get through it. That's for sure. So Jesse, let's go. This one is definitely going to be a big game from the Oilers. I think you think back to kind of the killer instinct that the Oilers had in that series as the games wore on against the Calgary Flames, right? That's the last series that the Oilers won in 5 games. I assume that tonight again you'll see kind of that same idea where it is the big guys just going out there and ending this thing here tonight. I know back then it was Connor McDavid in overtime obviously sealing the deal, but you'll see if the Oilers can find a way this evening to get off to a hot start. They ain't going to let off the gas at all. They know what's at stake here tonight against the LA Kings, and they know what they want to go out there and grab this evening. So we continue to queue up here, friends. I assume we'll have a bunch of folks join the board here just after about 7:55, 8 o'clock, kind of when the Edmonton Oilers EST pregame show ends and when the Edmonton Oilers pregame show on Oilers Nation ends as well. That's kind of when we start seeing the crowd get a little bit bigger, so we'll see what happens here. As Brian, good evening to you as well, as you're just joining the chat here from Camrose Friends. Of course, stick around. We'll play Where in the World Are You From once we get to the second period intermission. Kind of had some weird ones here on Friday night there, having to deal with some stuff for the company coming over. So didn't quite get to it, and obviously didn't get to it in game number 4 because got home right in time for the third period. So we'll get set for what should be a regular live stream here tonight against the LA Kings, game number 5. And then we should be ready to rock and roll for obviously game 5. As Jesse's asking, puck drop is at 8:20. So you look at that there, about 40 minutes to go until puck drop, about 39 now, as the Oilers and Kings will get underway. Obviously, we'll have the anthems, we'll have the whole ordeal beforehand, and we'll kind of get to it then. But yeah, we got a little bit of time before things kick off this evening, and that's the nice part. For the first time in a while, it looks like we're going to get a full actual pregame breakdown for the Oilers and the LA Kings, as we've kind of followed up some other games across the networks for Sportsnet here in the playoffs. So we'll see what kind of happens here in this pregame portion. They're just kind of showing the advantage that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl give to you late on a penalty kill, kind of being able to win a face-off, kill last 7 seconds, get positive momentum coming with your guy getting out of the box. So it's kind of nifty here to see some highlights, and they're showing right now Draisaitl's face-off kind of prowess here this series. He's been absolutely unbelievable in this series in the face-off dot, operating I think most games above 60%. So the other side too is whichever team scores first in this series over the past 3 years is like the 85 to 90% likely winner of the hockey game. So stay tuned, friends. If the Oilers can come out scoring the first one tonight, I don't want to say it's in the bag, but I would say it's likely to be a pretty big Oilers victory at the end of the night. As David, thank you so much for the super chat. Do appreciate that right off the hop. And we'll give you the old heart right there that we can do that for that. And Vortex, great to see me live again. Well, great to see you in the chat again, as we're in for a good night. That much is for sure. Yeah, I believe we are in for a really good one tonight, and obviously too for the Edmonton Oilers. We got warm-ups just getting underway at Rogers Place. We should be set, or is this warm-ups, or I guess they're just showing some old footage, because I guess that would have happened around maybe, I guess so. Yeah, actually 7:40 with an 8:20 puck drop. That makes sense. So JW, welcome aboard, as well as we're getting things geared towards puck drop here, friends. We are a mile away, it still seems, though, right? You got to figure here, we're at 7:43. We got just over 35 minutes to go until puck drop for the Oilers and the Kings tonight. Chris, welcome aboard as well. I don't think coming out of Game 2 I have nearly the same rant to follow up to begin Game 5 as I did in Game 3, right, following the Stuart Skinner debacle in Game number 2. David Riddick will get the start here for the LA Kings again tonight. Saved 12 of 13 shots against the Edmonton Oilers and got the loss. He is the starting goaltender with 1 loss, 1.02 goals against average, .923 save percentage. So that is the only thing. If the Edmonton Oilers are to lose tonight, they likely do not lose to the LA Kings. They lose to David Riddick, which would absolutely suck. But again, it happens. And we'll see what happens tonight as Stuart Skinner goes 3-1 on the season in the playoffs so far with 1 shutout, a 2.48 goals against average, and a .919 save percentage. So dare I say, entering action tonight after a tough couple of starts to begin the series, his numbers indeed look better than they did all season long. So we're queuing up for what should be a good hockey game tonight, friends. The Oilers and the Kings about set to get underway in, I want to say, well, just about 35 minutes right now. I am going to just pause for a brief moment. I'm going to go upstairs, grab the other water bottle and stuff, hopefully, if I can find it up there. I didn't look very well, so give me a moment here. We'll be right back. All right, no luck on the water bottle. That was a quick trip upstairs, but we're back ready to keep going here, friends. Sorry for dipping out on you for a brief moment there. Of course, just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy, and it would appear I've got 2 upstairs dirty, and I've got 2 down here, so actually all the water bottles are in use right now, so that's my bad. Oh man, welcome aboard as well, Peter. Welcome in, and good evening to you as we will get set for this evening's game in a matter of, like I'm saying, just about 35 minutes until puck drop between the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers this evening. Again, to read you the tail of the tape, it is David Riddick starting for the LA Kings. It is Stuart Skinner in net for the Edmonton Oilers, who boasts a 3-1 record in the playoffs so far with 1 shutout, 248 goals against average, and a .919 save percentage. The Oilers averaging 4.5 goals per game to begin this series. And the Oilers power play operating at 53.3% on the ledger so far. So Oilers definitely doing it so far, as we are just about set for this hockey game's, I guess you could say, actual prim and proper pregame stuff to get underway just after 8 o'clock. Right, we'll have the anthems, we'll have all the good stuff, and then we'll be ready to really get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's game. Again, if you've got any questions about the series so far, I guess fire them at me. Again, my details on Game 4 might be a little sketchy at times. Just simply put, listening on the 630 CHED radio in Calgary is not necessarily the most pleasurable listening experience at times. So, Vortex, yes, it is body armor now, and that stuff is absolutely disgusting, to be honest with you. I've had the light stuff, which is similar to what they would say is body biosteel. Not at all. It's not that great of stuff. So we are just about set to get things underway here at some point, as they're messing with me. They're showing the live warm-up on Sportsnet right now. It's not very often. I don't think over the past few years I've noticed that they've shown the warm-up live on air as much as they are this year's playoffs. So it is interesting. It is interesting. So, Bert, welcome aboard. Good evening to you, and of course everybody else back home tuning in as well, as we get things squared away for the pregame portion. Just going to take our time. I'm going to try and say not too much overall. Just kind of walk you through it with plain language here as we continue along tonight. As thoughts on when Connor Brown would draw in Vortex, I will tell you that. I think it was Bob Stauffer hinting that Warren Fogle is the most likely guy at current to lose his lineup spot, and of course starting tonight's game on line number 4, I would not be surprised to see Connor Brown draw in sometime early in round number 2. So Blingman, thank you as well for the super chat. There we go. As funds for to get me a new water bottle. No, I don't need a new one. I need to wash the ones I have. I've been kind of irresponsible here during the playoffs, right? Their games are ending at 12 o'clock. I'm just leaving them down here. A little bit of water there. This water's starting to yellow up a little bit even. Oh boy, rough go, but thank you, appreciate it, and I will tell you, the next water bottles we got to get, Boss Man's got to get us some new ones, as we need to get something like that for sure. So, all right, friends, we are continuing to roll along. We're now on commercial break here, but Alan, you were sad to see Winnipeg lose. Your first NHL game was the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets, and I like that memory. And Bert tuning in from north of Canada this evening. Well, glad to have you aboard. Glad you could find us this evening, and we continue to roll here this evening. Blingman, thank you twice over. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one tonight. If I just started something here with talking about the water bottles, I gotta hire someone to wash my water bottles. I'll tell you, I gotta hire a guy like me to do that. That's Thursday night's job. As we got company that came over. I know I was telling you guys I had company coming over after the game on Friday night last week. Well, I will tell you, the company coming over on Friday night, they've been over east, I guess west in the mountains all week, and they'll be back in town on Friday night, but somebody has to go pick them up from Banff. That somebody's me. So when I say that the Edmonton Oilers have to win game 5 tonight, it's kind of selfish reasons for a little bit as well. I don't want to miss streaming game 6, and as well I'm leaving them right after work to go to Banff. So best I can get back from Banff by then is let's figure about 8:30, 9 o'clock if I'm lucky enough. So got a long drive ahead of me on Friday, and I'd like to not have to worry about the Edmonton Oilers, as I'm sure all of us would, knowing that worrying about the Edmonton Oilers isn't going to get us many places if we're in game number 6. So thanks again, Blingman. As Alvin, good evening to you from Grand Cache this evening. As the late starts Vortex, you're watching the best hockey player in the world at 11 p.m. local on a weeknight. Has me scratching my head. Well, I will tell you, it's kind of crazy to think, but I assume we're going to go 8 o'clock starts in the in the second round as well, because Vancouver's likely to win that. Obviously, start times will get rearranged if we face Nashville, and then round number 3 we get down to the 6 p.m. start times, thankfully. So looking forward to it. It's not too far away at this point, as they've got Vinny Desharnais in the old Wichita Thunder uniform, Stuart Skinner in the Wichita Thunder uniform. That is crazy. That's crazy to see those old photos for those kids, as they played together way back when. And obviously Stuart Skinner as well, post-game Sunday, talking about, it looks like some of that stuff. Sandbox, welcome in. As glad to have you aboard. As Peter, I will try not to get distracted by those mountains, but I will tell you, it is hard not to. They are absolutely majestic. Even driving to work every day from just outside Calgary into the city there, it's quite amazing to see them when they're poking through the kind of, I guess, reflecting the sunshine and poking through the clouds on the west side there. So, Bert, it is snowing, raining, sleeting, slushing sideways outside right now. The winds are about 40 kilometers here in southern Alberta, and we are starting to accumulate snow in what is supposed to be a 20 to 40 centimeter snowfall at worst, if all comes to fruition this evening. So that drive to South Calgary tomorrow for work could be quite interesting, I will tell you that much, as we are rolling right now, friends. We are officially just about, I guess you could say, 25 minutes away from puck drop between the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings here in game number 5. Again, for those of you who've just joined and just kind of wondering what we're meandering on about, just stuff in life. But David Riddick will be your starting goaltender for tonight's game. 1 loss, 1.02 goals against average, and a .923 save percentage here for the LA Kings after game number 4. He started For Stuart Skinner, 3-1, 1 shutout, 248 goals against average, and a .919 save percentage. Dare I say, Stuart Skinner's numbers look better now than they did in the regular season. That, my friends, seems crazy. Greg, the wise words right there, stay home tomorrow. Well, I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, I stay home tomorrow. It's just staying later at work on Friday. And as I've already said, I can't afford to stay late Friday, so we'll just be maniacs out there in the cube van doing our thing. But again, that's up to the towing company if we have to get a yank out of the ditch. Trust me, I think me and everybody else in Calgary for some reason has that mentality. You know, if the people that just don't know how to drive would stay off the road, no. You don't want to get me started about driving in the dangerous weather. It really is truly a different element down here than it was way back when in northern Alberta. I'll tell you, Edmonton gets pretty crazy at times, but I think there's just something different about how the snow falls in southern Alberta when it comes down to just messing with the roads in the morning. Greg, I do appreciate that as we are continuing to get closer to puck drop here, friends. Now officially 25 minutes to go. But I will say, if you haven't already left a like on the stream yet tonight, please make sure to do that here at some point. As, well, we want to get crazy here at the end of the live stream. And you know that happening Game 3, happening Game 4. Love to have you aboard for it in, of course, Game number 5. And as well, we'll take a quick check here on the subscribers just to give you an idea of where we're sitting. So we're at 15,378 tonight. I will tell you, we're looking for about 15,425 all told as we continue to chug along through the NHL playoffs. And as well, we'll take a look here at the watch time as we try to break down where we're at. We're looking, of course, for 500 hours, and we're already at 33.1. So you factor in that the hockey game now just needs less than 467 hours all told. Garrett, welcome aboard as we're getting going here this evening, and I'm welcome in from South Mississippi as well. So we got, there you go, we got the United States aboard. Not that I didn't think we already did with some other folks in the chat, but glad to see we're all the way around the United States tonight. I wonder if anybody's tuning in from Alaska. Maybe we'll find out a little later on tonight, but we'll continue to go here tonight, friends, as we are going to go over here to the stats one more time. The Oilers averaging 4.5 goals per game in this series. The LA Kings averaging 2.5 goals per game. So you got to keep that in mind. The Edmonton Oilers have done a good job thus far of kind of making sure the LA Kings don't get much. And in game number 4, that was especially true as the Oilers really dominated down the stretch in that hockey game to make sure that things stayed right where they were at 1-0. The Oilers power play clipping along at 53.3%. So you like to definitely see that for the Edmonton Oilers this evening. Dean, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. As wishing I was where you are tonight, but obviously I'll stay home and suffer in the snow. Don't worry about me as we've got time to go here this evening. So Janice, welcome aboard, as well as awesome celebrations from me tonight. Well, we got the 4 styrofoams loaded, and of course we're going to hopefully see at least a couple of goals tonight from the Edmonton Oilers. That would be the preferred route of victory, not just a 1-0 victory again. Obviously the Oilers have that in the arsenal now, but you don't want to worry about that too much here tonight, as we got this one. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really get going, as I got Lou Diamond Phillips to send Oil Country a special message. Oh, that's interesting right there. You like to see it, as yeah, we are continuing to check the old Twitterverse here, see if there's anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else more to really put through on this one. Gotta find a way. So it looks like Game 5, 20 minutes to go in Game 5 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Started about 20 minutes ago. That is the last update out of that game. So we'll wait to see what happens there as that one continues along. As Abraham, welcome aboard, and we are continuing to wait for this hockey game to get underway. I guess Chris asks a valid point. Who's the points leaders in this series so far for the Oilers, it would be Connor McDavid with 10 points total, only 1 goal, 9 assists. And of course, Quinton Byfield has 4 points in the series as well to lead the LA Kings, who, like I said, they only have a grand total through 4 games of 10 goals. But for the Oilers, obviously tonight, looking to keep them off the board just as much. As Storm, welcome aboard, and we continue to see everybody showing up here towards the live stream's official, I guess you could say, kickoff tonight. Obviously, 8 o'clock rolls around and things get a little bit more crazy in here as we approach puck drop tonight, friends. As we're getting towards it here this evening. So yeah, no, the styrofoam things, friends. Again, for a refresher for those of you back home, I had a little bit of time at work at the end of the day. I think it was game 1 actually, and I did these little guys up. We've seen this one the most thus far, right? The Zachary Martin-Hyman just did it. Of course, you got the Oh My Captain, which we got to use on Connor McDavid's spinning assist in game 1. We also got to use this one in game 1. And oh, by the way, we were 4 for 4 in game number 1 using the styrofoam. Seeing Mr. Nugent Hopkins score a goal as well tonight. We'll see who all scores goals for us, but it'll take us down the stretch here tonight, that is for sure, as we try to finish this series off in 5 against the LA Kings tonight. As Vincent, too many commercials on cable on NHL. Well, I'll tell you, it is a battle, of course, to try and stay focused on the old hockey game when you've got a lot of commercials going on. They've got some picturesque scenery of Edmonton right now as we get set for tonight's broadcast. Of course, Edmonton in May, for some reason, is a little bit snowy. They actually had somebody waving this Edmonton Oilers flag on the pregame intro here tonight, and that's what I'm talking about. We're getting the pregame underway, and we have seen so far very little of the actual players in this series, and there come the Edmonton Oilers in the intro right now as we get a little bit of feel ahead of game 5. Get those butterflies going tonight, friends. The Edmonton Oilers have a chance in this game 5 to knock off the LA Kings for the first time in 5 games in a series so far as this 3-year battle has gone on. So that's an exciting moment that the Edmonton Oilers desperately need to capitalize on here tonight. So yeah, we'll see what the Oilers can do for us, as this is going to be a huge game this evening, and obviously the emotional battle too for the LA Kings, who will know that they are on their last life here tonight, at least for the time being. They will get another one, but you've got nothing left if you lose this hockey game tonight after what has been an interesting season this evening. So, or this year. As Chris, welcome aboard. The biggest thing is, as I was saying in the Game 5 video yesterday, is you cannot afford to do what Boston did and lose game number 5, because then all the headlines start working against you out there in the media, and obviously too, people start believing it to some extent, and we don't need folks falling off the Oilers bandwagon right now when we are this close to round number 2. So we kick off game number 5 officially. Art, welcome aboard. Nadia, I will not be showing the game, unfortunately. It is copyright material of the NHL, and I am lucky enough and honored enough to have a deal worked out with the NHL just simply to be able to call the play-by-play as I do here, game in, game out. So we won't tiptoe on their turf and try and get myself in trouble for absolutely no reason, when they've been gracious enough to allow me to do what I've done over the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years now as we work towards it. So all right, friends, we continue to progress here tonight. The Oilers and the Kings will get underway in just about 17 minutes time, as the Edmonton Oilers will get things going. Downtown Plaza is packed. The Moss Pit is rocking tonight. It is not empty by any means this evening. I think in previous nights I had said maybe it's not as full as it could be. Well, tonight it is as full as it can be. So here we go, as welcome to go, as hoping Dallas pulls it off. Yeah, I would hope with less than 4 minutes to go, Dallas is able to pull it off. Maybe we'll see overtime in that game. That'd be a little insane to see a little overtime between Vegas and Dallas. And obviously, Toast, it's a bad night to live in Ontario. It's a bad night to live anywhere east of Manitoba this evening. Sorry, friends, for the hockey game here this evening, but hopefully you can stay tuned with me and hang out with me this evening as a complete... Hold on here, just give me a sec. What happened? Oh. Mass chaos upstairs, friends. My apologies. As once in a while the dog gets a little too wound up there. And as we keep going here, friends, Dean, welcome aboard. And as we're getting things going, I think we are just about set for this evening's hockey game. Series results in Oilers 1-0 playoff win. Looks like we've won all 3 series prior, so we'll see if the Oilers can again do that tonight. Greg, do I still announce local games? Haven't really gotten much in the way of local stuff. I've been up to Cold Lake in March the past 3 years to do a tournament at the end of the month each year, and that's about it for everything. I know I had a chance past 2 seasons to broadcast a little bit of minor hockey down here in southern Alberta, but haven't really gotten much going, so we'll see if that comes to fruition this winter when we might get a chance to do a little bit more, as more people get to know what I'm doing out here. More people find that they could use a little live stream in their life. Ben, could the Leafs do the comeback? Well, I will tell you, possibly they could. Possibly they very well could. I don't know if they will, but we're hoping that they do, because then that would be, of course, Oilers-Leafs Cup Finals still in the hope. So we'll see where we go. As we continue along here tonight, friends, we are now officially 15 minutes away from puck drop, and as Bert is putting his prediction for the game 5-3 for the Oilers, that is now where I will turn it over to you back home. You got a prediction for tonight? What are you thinking? I'm thinking the Oilers. I saw 3-1 earlier in the chat. I think the Oilers could very well take this one 3-1, right? 2-1 hockey game, kind of same feel down the stretch as it had in game number 4, and then the Oilers pull away with it with an empty netter, 3-1 finish. Yeah, I can see that one kind of coming to fruition there. So that would be absolutely fantastic if we can pull this one off. 2-goal finish, right? Good go. As Allen's going with 6-3, and of course Northern Farm Girls going with 4-2. As Brian, looks like you're going to finally televise an Oilers game, so you get to watch this one. Well, I appreciate that, Brian, but yeah, definitely enjoy tonight, friends. This one is nationally televised on Sportsnet West, so kind of a different setup than I think normally it is, but tonight you get a chance to watch no matter where you are nationally in Canada, and obviously I don't know how it is across the United States. I'm sure maybe they've actually gotten on ESPN too this evening, so that would actually help out instead of it being on ESPN 2. So, yes, will I be live streaming the whole game tonight no matter the score? That is the thing. In the playoffs, that is the promise, right? We go start to finish no matter what. As proved right in that manner because of what you could say that that game way back when game 4 last year actually against LA, when we were down 3 or 4 nothing after the first period, and I said, this game's not over. This game's far from done. Friends, the Oilers' best is yet to come, and they came roaring back and won in overtime. That's the one thing we do not close up shop early in the playoffs unless there is an emergency. That is the only exception as to the rule, because you just never know what life could throw at you. As Jonas, welcome in, as we're glad to have you aboard this evening as we'll get set up for Oilers action here now in just about 12 minutes time. The panel taking its last few stabs at priming us up for this hockey game this evening, and that is once again where I will talk to you about the watch hours as we get towards the start of this live stream officially with the play-by-play call. We are at over, well, how about that? 67 and a half hours to begin tonight's hockey game, so we should be ready to get going here nice and early as yeah, we are getting close to this hockey game starting at long last. Looking forward to it, obviously. I'm looking forward to, like I said, I know I got to drive to South Calgary for work tomorrow, but I got to drive to South Calgary for work tomorrow. I'll be the passenger. Right on. Let's go, right? Easy go. Victory is mine. We'll have a little nappy poo there in the passenger seat if the conditions allow. Obviously, there is navigation that needs to be done, but things are lining up here possibly for a nice and easy start to the morning if the Oilers end up indeed going late into the night. So, Vader, who do you want in the next round? I want Vancouver, just simply for the chaos that a Vancouver series would bring to Western Canada, right? Similar idea to Calgary back in 2023 or 22, I guess it would have been. So that's the ideal. Nashville would be a good test, just simply they're a little bit different of a team, I guess, than we've faced in LA in the past few years. They're kind of that next step between LA and Vegas. And I wouldn't mind trying to take on the Nashville Predators, who Leon Draisaitl absolutely tears apart. So, and as well, Nashville really hasn't scored many goals, nor has Vancouver. There isn't a bad opponent for the Oilers in the second round, I think. So, welcome in as well, and Flipper do welcome aboard. And look at this, we got all the regulars tuning in right now. McToad's Florida would walk on Toronto. Well, I'd assume that's what they did last year. And Pork, welcome in as well. Glad to have you aboard this evening as we are just about set up for tonight's hockey game. We are now officially 9 minutes to puck drop as we are 8:10, 8:11. 8:11 on the clock right now as the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings are moments away from getting underway tonight as we are ready for hockey. I think the anxiety here tonight is justified for the fact that you've watched Boston choke away a 3-1 lead into a 3-2 series lead going back to Toronto. That's where I draw my storyline for tonight, with the Oilers having to win this one. This being a must-win, you have to close it out here tonight. So that's kind of where it comes down to. Linda, welcome in as well. And Cameron, welcome aboard. Glad to see you aboard for some playoff hockey, as we are just about set for Game 5 here, friends. We are moments away from getting this one underway. I think we are officially 8:11 on the clock, so there's still a few more a few more moments to go get a beverage, get some stuff going. But yeah, we are just about ready to go. So is there anything else to really look at here? The Dallas-Vegas series has been great. 3-2 Dallas, headed home for game number 6. So the Vegas Golden Knights will go home for game number 6. You like to see that right there. And obviously the Dallas Stars leading that series 3-2 now. So that's a massive swing in momentum for what has been a different playoffs because LA crossed over into the Central. So we'll keep going along here. Last game, Vincent, to your credit, you're saying Nashville looked like a better playoff team than Man City. Well, Vancouver, I guess, from what we're hearing, is dealing with injuries to Quinn Hughes. They aren't getting production from Elias Pettersson. So kind of some situations happening in Vancouver that kind of make sense. But you also want to see Vancouver try and shrug that off and just find a way to push through, because I think an Oilers-Canucks series would kind of blow the lid off the Canadian playoff scene again. And that would be fantastic to see. So, Art, Cam Talbot did lose the net. Everybody was thinking Mr. Stuart Skinner should lose the net after Game 2. Well, man, has he proved everybody wrong through the next 2 games. And tonight in Game 5, he's looking to do much of the same, as we're about to throw into the studio right now to get the Oilers and the LA Kings set up one last time by the panel. Awake, welcome aboard, as well as this Edmonton Oilers game is ready to get set up for a big one tonight. Series clinching possibility. K. Ferg, welcome in. As the Oilers, well, as Flipperdu's saying, have all four lines pretty much set up the way they need to be. Dylan Holloway has been elevated to line number 3. And you got Warren Fogle with Janmark and Derek Ryan. That is a very experienced Oilers bottom 6 line. So we'll see if that bodes well for us again this evening. But the Oilers and the LA Kings close to closing in on puck drop here this evening, as the fans in the Moss Pit are losing their stuff, as there's quite a few folks dancing exclusively for the backdrop of the Hockey Night in Canada panel, as they see themselves on there waving right now. And we will now go inside Rogers Place, friends, and get set up for tonight's game, as Ben's asking the all-important question: if the Oilers lose tonight, how would I feel about Game 6? Indifferent, I guess, because I know I'm going to miss it. That's the thing. I'm driving out to Banff to pick up the friends and bring them back to town. So tough go if the Oilers lose tonight, and that's why obviously it is a must-win this evening. The Oilers have to find a way to get this job done tonight for us, for me, and for, of course, the rest they need to get into the next round of the playoffs. So we are about to get this going tonight, as kind of welcome aboard, as well as this Edmonton Oilers team needs a victory here tonight, and they are looking to close in on what would be the quickest finish to a series against the LA Kings thus far in the past 3 years, and obviously 2 if there is any division realignment coming with Salt Lake over the next few years. Things could change with the playoff format once again, so this could be one of the last times the Oilers face the LA Kings, all told, here tonight, as some folks in the hard hats getting things going again. You love to see it. The stickers there on the side of the hard hats as well, as we queue up for tonight's game with Gene Principe, friends. 86.2 hours watched on the stream through the pregame portion, as we are about ready to get this going. Team to score opening goal has won each game in the series. That is what I was talking about here, as if the Oilers score first tonight, I got a good feeling for you back home that we have a good chance to try and finish this one off tonight, as this will be a very good opportunity, I think one could say. As yeah, we will continue to roll along here for some words from Philip Deneau following the Game 4 loss. We have to come out the exact same way we did, and well, we're just going to see what happens for them this evening. As CGE, welcome aboard as well, friends. If you haven't already left that like button a thumbs up yet, make sure to do that here this evening. And as well, I'll tell you through the pregame portion, if you want to stick around for games number 6, 7, or possibly just round 2, whatever comes next, make sure to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. And with that, let's get into the official portion of tonight's hockey game, as we are rolling into tonight's festivities with the crowd going electric at Rogers Place. And we will have the land acknowledgement from Chief Willie Littlechild on the Jumbotron inside Rogers Place right now. And then let's get this going here, friends. The Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings about set to kick off tonight's hockey game in a matter of 3 minutes time. The anthem's about set to get sung here, and then all of a sudden we will be ready to rock and roll. And I wonder if the Edmonton Oilers are about to bring out, of course, Brett Kissel, who's famously not had a lot of good luck singing the national anthem for the Oilers, and instead they will go to Robert Clark in the stands this evening. So Brett Kissel not singing tonight. It will be Rob Clark in the stands wearing the jersey and all, as he will lead us in the singing of the Star Spangled Banner to start things out, and then we will get to O Canada and the crowd singing and carrying us home for the start of game number 5 tonight, friends. The Oilers just about set for what should be a big one tonight. So Jeremy, welcome aboard. Glad to have you in the chat. Unfortunately, you will be just listening to me call the hockey game, right? It is technically listening to me watch the game, but I am relaying what's happening. I am doing the play-by-play. And for those of you friends thinking, that's not what I'm here for, I want to watch the game, I will tell you, if you can't find anywhere else to watch the game, I try my best to do a decent job. I've covered Junior B hockey off and on over the past 10 years. I've done some provincials tournaments for Hockey Alberta and stuff over the years, so be glad to have you stick around. If you can't find a way to watch tonight and just need some way to stay in tune and you don't want to listen to 6:30 Ched, hey, I'd be glad to be an option to you here this evening. So here we go. Let's go get this going for the Edmonton Oilers tonight as the Star Spangled Banner coming down for, of course, the fans, the folks at Rogers Place tonight. And now Robert Clark will lead us in the singing of O Canada this evening, friends. And there you have it, all the fans ready to rock and roll for tonight's hockey game. We'll start belting out the anthem, and here we are. Friends, Superfan Magoo ready to get things going. He's got the face paint, he's got the bandana, he's got everything going this evening as the Edmonton Oilers fans drone down the national anthem inside Rogers Place this evening. One of them, if not the best traditions in hockey as the Oilers continue to show up in those stands, the Oilers fans do, and sing our national anthem loud and proud. So here we go, friends. We are just moments away from Game 5 getting underway. Legrand, thank you so much. I do appreciate the kind words as we are just about set for this one to get underway. This is a hard problem, you know. It's usually a pretty emotional time of the game, listening to the national anthem sung by the fans, but it only gets emotional at the very end. Seeing as per Oilers tradition, our man Joey Moss on the Jumbotron to finish out the anthem. Friends, let's do this. The Edmonton Oilers, the LA Kings to begin game number 5. Didn't expect it to actually catch me like that, but it did, as we are just about set for tonight's game. I will remind you, if you are watching back home on TV and you're like, man, I saw the goal, I am about 25, 35 seconds behind, so we'll see how in tune I am this evening. As David Riddick, 0-1, 102 goals against average, 923 save percentage, gets the start for the LA Kings tonight. In net, Stuart Skinner for the Edmonton Oilers, 3-1 record, 248 goals against average, and 919 save percentage with, of course, that shutout in game number 4. How sweet was that? Let's sit back, relax, friends. Leon Draisaitl on the bench to begin. It is Connor McDavid in the face-off dot alongside Bouchard and Ekholm on the blue line. The face-off stopped up for a brief moment as it'll be down now near side boards inside the LA Kings zone. Byfield had circled back over to the far side for Doughty. He'll play ahead right onto the tape of Ekholm, who will bat up for Henrique, and back the other way comes Connor McDavid battling Doughty. The puck's going to squirt free to Hyman. He had it spared away into the corner there by the LA Kings, Mikey Anderson. Now it's Doughty up the middle to the near side boards for Kopitar, ripping it in. Far side corner bounce onto the tape by Ekholm, and the Oilers start back almost immediately into the LA Kings territory. Didn't bite anything on the way past Zach Hyman, icing call, and the Oilers kind of, again, as they did so many times in the regular season, start the hockey game simply just behind the 8-ball a little bit with, of course, the, well, what you could say, the face-off coming inside their own zone just 20 or so seconds into the hockey game. We're rolling through LA's lineup here. Not much really different as Carl Grundstrom, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Alex Lafayette line this evening, as this one's shot towards the net. It'll be moved off there by Ekholm. Ekholm in behind the net will go to the far side. Instead, Arvidsson's got the puck now. Arvidsson looking shot fired saver. Stuart Skinner to the rebound, tapped into his glove even further. That's going to draw a crowd as Bouchard comes up against Trevor Moore along the end wall and kind of gives him a couple of shots. And, oh boy, you like to see that right out of the gate. The Oilers immediately, after a good chance there from LA, Arvidsson spun up along the boards, fired it through traffic. Extra poke there from Moore, eats a couple of shots from Bouchard, who gives him the face wash and then holds him up against the end wall, as the Oilers and Kings off to a hot start already in tonight's hockey game, if that's the way this one's going to be played. So, all right, here we go. Face off down inside the Oilers zone straight away, as this one will go along the wall, and it'll be won by Moore. Moore circling around behind the net. Wrap around right in front, goes into the corner, back to Moore. Right in front it comes, and it's tapped away onto the stick of Evander Kane, starting back for the Oilers. Jumping into the attack, trying to get past Matt Roy. can't do it, and it's Deneau with the puck batting it off the end wall, and instead Nugent Hopkins, a shot tipped by Kane. The rebound to Draisaitl, nothing happening as the puck comes back to the slot for Ceci, or to the high point, sorry, and then it bobbled across to the slot, and it was poked out into the neutral zone. As a nice pass across the line there by Draisaitl, taps it down. Kane into the corner as Holloway starts forechecking as well. He's out there, of course, with McLeod and Perry this evening, getting the boost up to the third line tonight in place of Warren Foegele. 18:23 to go in this first period of play. Lizotte to the far side corner inside the Oilers zone. Kulak's got to make a smart play with it. Instead, he's wiped out along the boards. Turnover. LA Kings backhand. Lizotte blocked in front by Vinny Desharnais, and then he turnstiles Lizotte at the same rate. And coming back the other way now, Dylan Holloway will chip it inside the LA Kings zone. 18 minutes to go here in the first period. We're inside the first 2 minutes of play here for the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings, as Nurse will look to make this play along the wall. He'll leave it along the boards, and looks like we're going to have a stoppage in play, as I'm thinking there's going to be a penalty here upcoming to Darnell Nurse as he's trying to signal for something. And oh boy. You like to see it. As friends, if you want to go to an Edmonton Oilers playoff game, I will tell you, you go down to Rogers Place, you sit in the lobby until the end of the pregame, and then you go sit down. As this shot fired, block save there from Matthias Janmark, a huge block shot right out of the gate to begin this hockey game, as the puck along the boards here flipped up back into the middle of the ice, backhanded down low by Doughty to Dubois. The Kings have started this hockey game just a step better than the Edmonton Oilers, as this comes down now for the Oilers' nemesis in net in game number 4. It was David Riddick. He was outstanding despite only facing 13 shots, and just about won the hockey game if the Kings could have found a way to push it to overtime. This one around the far side boards. Heavy collision there between Connor McDavid and I think Mikey Anderson. He is down in a heap, and Anderson is going to get the mercy whistle as he was erased by Connor McDavid. 16:54 to go in the first period, and we have our first major delay in this hockey game as Anderson can barely move out there. Trainers coming out with the assistance of the linesman, and Anderson, I don't know, I saw Connor McDavid come into the near side corner inside the Kings zone, and then Anderson suddenly just kind of buckled, I guess you could really say. He kind of took contact and fell down, as Anderson is down in a pile here, and we'll see what happens here for him. As this is it's going to be interesting, as he is doubled over in pain right now. Again, this is kind of the weird part, is usually during youth hockey tournaments you don't really have a chance to speculate or anything. This is kind of the nice part about the pro game, but it's Connor McDavid I think just more or less winning him, as Anderson was coming down the corner and Connor McDavid just cutting the lane there, and incidental contact. Both guys didn't really see each other coming, and Anderson gets the worst of it. Thankfully, Connor McDavid just skates right through him, and Anderson looks like he may indeed go down the tunnel here, as Hiller's talking things over with the referees, but Anderson gingerly going down the tunnel here with 16:54 to go in the first period. That's a good sign for the Oilers. You knock out one of the Kings' 6 defensemen, obviously not hoping he's seriously injured. Hopefully he makes a return at some point this game, because I'd love to beat the Kings best on best. But there's a good tip play there for the Oilers off the post, as Hyman just about bit one through traffic there, as well as it got through Riddick and couldn't quite find the back of the net there, as Riddick took some contact from Hyman as well. We'll have the face-off. Connor McDavid back out there. Ekholm shoots it down low into the far side corner. He faked the shot towards the net and tried to pass off. It ends up on the tape of Connor McDavid, who's wheeling and dealing back to the point for Bouchard. The shot from the point off the end wall. I thought he'd hit the back of the net, as Matthias Ekholm keeps it alive for a brief moment. Henrique tied up there as well. It's flipped into the Oilers bench and up and out of play after it hits someone. That was a lot going on that sequence, as Bouchard got it through traffic but hit the end wall, and now the Edmonton Oilers will take a second to relax and change the lines one win at a time for the LA Kings, while they would need to score first tonight to even have a hope of that. And win tonight and rest is a weapon for the Edmonton Oilers if they can get it. 16:33 to go in this first period of play, friends. 15-1 all-time series record when leading 3-1 in a best of 7, as this one's to the near side boards. Kopitar tips it inside the Oilers zone, but he's off the wrong side of the red line, meaning it will be an icing call against the LA Kings with time just barely moving here in this first period. I think we have got a long way to go, even if it just does end in regulation this evening, friends. And to those of you sitting back there saying the nice comments in the chat, thank you so much. Do appreciate that. Doing the best I can, obviously, given the fact I've only got one television feed to look off of, as this one's flipped up into the neutral zone off the face-off inside the Kings zone. It ends up back on the tape of Kulak inside his own end, and this one is batted back into the Kings zone. They've got possession. 16-10 as we start bleeding clock finally for the first time in a little while, as the Kings play pitch and catch inside their own end. Moore is finally going to decide to carry it forward, and something that we saw a lot of in the early going of I think 2022 and 2023 is Trevor Moore definitely found a lot more open ice, but since Vinny Desharnais stepped up back there for the Oilers, he is not getting nearly as much space as he used to, as this one's fired down into the Kings zone on the clear, or the missed pass, not really sure which, as this one comes back now for Roy. Pass over to Dano to the far side, picked up by the Kings. Arvidsson across the line, the shot, glove hand save, third of the night already for Stuart Skinner. 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this first period of play. My friends, we are up for what should be a good hockey game tonight. Obviously the Oilers starting slow, but again, the Kings, to their credit, have a lot to play for here tonight, and I would assume they're not going to go away just quietly, as Desharnais handled Moore right down to the boards, kind of just put the stick into the side and threw him right down to the ice. 4-4 the hits early on in this hockey game, less than 5 minutes in, as the backhand over to Bouchard now, as he'll look to fire this one right up the boards into the Kings zone. It'll be onside, crashing down Henrique in support McDavid. Far side wall as 3, 4, 5, 6 players pile up, and Hyman wins it back to Ekholm. Back for Bouchard. The shot blocked right in front. Ekholm gathers it back up at the point to the far side for Henrique, who, he would have told me Adam Henrique would be the top line left winger for the Oilers come playoff time, I wouldn't have believed you, and I wouldn't have believed it works, as Bouchard into the corner against Fiala, back inside the Oilers zone, picked up. It's Ekholm wheeling and dealing to the blue line. Pass over now for McDavid, spin off the linesman, who is right in the way as McDavid stays on his feet twice over, getting handled there by Spence. The shot towards the net, side of the net. Hyman just couldn't handle it, and it comes back now to the blue line for Darnell Nurse, as Nurse will have it inside his own zone. The Cats are looking around for extra food. Wonder if one of them ate it on the other ones, as this one comes back down inside the LA Kings territory. 14-14 to go in this first period of play. Up along the wall, back into the neutral zone. Kings get the clear, as this one will be overskated by the Oilers, as McLeod just kind of lifts it awkwardly offside into the LA Kings zone. Doughty's able to pick it up. Back to the near side. Dubois got the puck inside the Oilers end. He fires what was a hope of a shot towards the net. Another opportunity right there. Jammed and blocked by the Kings, who I believe did get a fourth shot from the outside area. And the Oilers again get the clear, dump it down into the Kings territory. But it will be an icing call nonetheless against the Edmonton Oilers early on in this one. So, Eric, welcome aboard, and I don't think we've missed anyone else as well, as we're just quietly chatting along here tonight. I don't think there's really much to discuss so far through the first 6.5 minutes of this hockey game, other than the fact that slow pitch season starts this weekend, friends. Keep that in mind. Doughty 2 goals, 3 points in the series. He scored in game 2, and then as well in game number 3 for the LA Kings. 13-42 remains in this first period. Waved out of the face-off dot was Kopitar. Byfield comes in against McLeod. McLeod's stick shatters. This is an opportunity for the Kings right here. They need to capitalize on it if they want to have a hope of getting this game going early. And the Oilers, though, instead just able to tap it out into the neutral zone, back into possession for Gavrikov. Roy's got the puck now. He'll play up along the wall. A weird bounce lands on the tape of Kempe, who's still got the puck up off of Stuart Skinner. Tipped back to the slot and then out of the zone there by the Oilers. 13-16 to go, and we've got a stoppage in play, as I'm not sure if we've got a broken strap on Stuart Skinner's mask, and we will have a stoppage right here to roll things up as Mr. Zach Hyman's hat trick in the 7-4 win in Game 1. Game 2 was the 5-4 OT loss. Game 3 was the 6-1 Edmonton win, and then 1-0 Edmonton in Game 4. They're showing these graphics way too fast. So, M. Fisher, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Thank you so much for being aboard. As the Edmonton Oilers obviously starting off so tonight. Obviously not the start we need to close out the series, but obviously not the start that's not going to allow us to not close out the series as things keep getting started here tonight. Obviously, we're only about 6 minutes in. No need to panic yet. As Jamie, welcome in. Greg, welcome in as well, as we are continuing to get started here tonight. And I think to answer the slow start question, I think for the Oilers is I'd rather a slow start that doesn't put us behind than a fast start that builds a bunch of momentum and then gives up that breakaway goal. So hopefully a slow start is a sign that the best is yet to come. So we'll see what happens here tonight. As Steve, welcome aboard. Glad to have you in the chat. As yes, slow pitch season gets started in Crossfield here this weekend with the Icebreaker tournament, and of course that's always a good time. I don't think I've gotten to play in one yet because I think last year we kind of had the playoffs, and this year as well. Kind of the weird part about it is the weather might have something to say. And the year I started in Crossfield way back in 2019. Weather definitely played a factor. It looked like it does now outside all weekend long. So here we go, friends. We are getting set up for the rest of this first period. I'm just going to quickly take a second to check things out in the back end of the stream. Things look like they are all good to go, and obviously Stuart Skinner making some saves early on in this hockey game. Dwayne, welcome in as we welcome some more folks into the chat here. Chat starts moving again. Education, welcome aboard. And Mr. Duma, welcome aboard as well. As this one comes to the near side, picked up now by the LA Kings. It's Arvidsson across the line. Moore's got room to the middle. The Oilers quickly cut it off right there, and this one will be back towards the middle of the ice inside the Oilers zone. The Kings, Doughty with the puck. Full clapper. Save made by Stuart Skinner. 12:51 to go in this first period. I mean, Drew Doughty faked it, wound right back up, and then slapped it right on Mr. Stuart Skinner. My goodness. That was a good-looking shot from Drew Doughty, but Skinner stood tall as Arvidsson battled in there, and then Doughty faked it, pumped it actually, and then Stuart Skinner just stands right in front of it and saves it to the chest of the Oilers logo. And now all of a sudden we get things going as Mr. Patrick, the Oilers fanatic, will be live post-game from Rogers Place this evening, scoring sweet tickets in the lower bowl for tonight's playoff game. You might actually be able to see him on camera if you catch it. So here we go. This one will be a face-off to the left of Stuart Skinner. Ace, welcome aboard as we're going to get things going with a 12:51 on the clock here. It's Janmark drawing in the face-off dot. Instead, Lewis is going to be waved out now as both teams kind of get players waved out and in and out and in, as Lizotte will take the face-off for the LA Kings to the middle of the ice. It came 3-for-1. Is that Warren Fogle or is that Leon Draisaitl? I'm not sure. That's Leon Draisaitl out there actually, as the Oilers will continue to move things around. Here's Janmark! Shot save made over top of the net there. I think that one actually went wide as this comes back down low as the Oilers are getting that one good look this period. And the puck is wedged in the netting. Came down at long last, and Janmark, a good looking opportunity in front. That is one of the best passes you are going to see all day from Warren Fogle, tapping it off the stick or however that happened. And it was just Janmark with the puck flipped up on his blade, just couldn't fire it home. 8 goals, 27 points in 70 career playoff games for Matthias Janmark. It is what it is. He is a pretty big playoff performer, I guess, for the metrics of the ice time he gets all told. Is the face-off to the left of David Riddick. We're almost halfway done this first period now. Seems like we've been going forever, but only 18 minutes in so far, and we're less than 8 actually, truly, into the clock, as this one's in behind the LA Kings zone. This one continues to battle along that goal line area inside LA's territory. Battled off now by Janmark as he'll try and fire it back to the point. Instead, he ties up there against Roy. And I will tell you, you want to see a lot of ice time for guys like Janmark and Ryan tonight, because that bodes well for the Edmonton Oilers, keeping the LA Kings off the board. This one flipped out of the Oilers' end on the clear by the LA Kings into center ice territory, bounced onto the tape of Mr. Matt Roy, as it'll come back now for Trevor Moore trying to get across the line. I just still baffled this game how little time and space it looks like Trevor Moore has out there for the Kings. He fires a shot blocked immediately by Bouchard to the near side boards, picked up by Deneau, fired over the tape of Bouchard past Moore. Ekholm does a duck on Arvidsson. What a beautiful play. And back the other way, it comes inside the LA Kings zone as Englund has the puck. That was a weird little sequence where not much really happened, but there was a couple really nice just puck movement kind of things there for the Oilers and Kings, as a shot steered away by Stuart Skinner comes back to the near side, picked up by Desharnais in behind his own net. He'll tap it up along the boards, cut off by Fiala, who will battle Desharnais and get nowhere as Desharnais reverses around for Henrique, picked up now by McDavid over to Bouchard. Bouchard back into the neutral zone, flipped down by Spence to the near side for Lafreniere, firing down into the Edmonton Oilers zone as Kulak battles along the wall, trying to free it up there as Desharnais. He is going to come up with this puck, but instead it's Kulak ultimately who tries to play it out. Lafreniere shot from the point and just couldn't get it through, as it looks like Mattias Ekholm took a high stick from somebody in the corner. No, actually he had his face smushed against the glass by Arvidsson. A hard hit in behind the play there as Arvidsson takes a hard hit, and obviously for Ekholm it cut his eye, so we'll see what Mr. Mattias Ekholm has for us. So yeah, Ekholm's kind of icing him with the gauze right now, trying to make sure he gets the bleeding down. 10:39 to go. The Kings have 6 shots, the Oilers have 1, and the Oilers are going to win this face off and move it forward. Here's McLeod going into the LA Kings zone, peels off back to the boards, and he'll fire down low. Picked up now by Corey Perry. Perry wheeling and dealing around the zone. The shot fired towards the net goes wide. And this will be picked up instead by Lizotte, trying to force it back the other way. Perry delivers a hit, bouncing into the middle of the ice. Picked up now by Dylan Holloway across the line. Here's Holloway looking for the shot, blocked in front by the LA Kings. And it'll be Doughty rolling around inside his own zone on the regather. This one comes back up through the middle, and it'll be knocked down there. The shot fired, save made by Skinner, and that will be a stoppage in play with the Oilers' Darnell Nurse kind of saying, Trevor Lewis, get out of my crease, please. That'd be nice of you, as we keep going here. And Randy, you're cheering for the Nashville Predators. Well, I can appreciate that, but I'm hoping for the Vancouver Canucks, just to blow the lid off of, obviously, Western Canadian hockey for the span of a little bit. So here we go, friends. The Kings and the Oilers continue to just settle up early on in this hockey game. This is going to be a hard-fought hockey game, and obviously so far a slowly paced hockey game, as this one continues to battle now for the Oilers across their own blue line into the neutral zone, as this will be a chance. Shot fired towards the net. The Oilers score. The Oilers just tippity-tapped that one through the traffic, put it on net into the crease of David Riddick. And I mean, 2 Oilers followed up on that puck. I'm not sure if it's Kulak or Kane who got the goal, but what a beauty of a play. I think we saw that for that Toronto overtime winning goal, where they just forced it to the middle of the net from the outside inside the crease, and it was a good play there as Kulak played it to the front for Kane, and then all of a sudden it's tapped home. But I do believe that is going to be Evander Kane's goal, as he snuck it in on the far side on David Riddick before Draisaitl could get there. Yes, indeed, it's Kane from Kulak. 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers early on in this hockey game. I don't got a styrofoam graphic for that, so here we go. In behind for the LA Kings off the face-off at center ice. They're going to try to load forward as this comes down back into the Oilers zone, as Kopitar will play off to Kempe. He would try to get that one, but it muscled him in behind the net, and the Oilers will dump this all the way down into the LA Kings zone for an icing call. 9:16 to go in this first period of play. The Oilers jump out to the 1-0 lead on shot number 2 of the hockey game. So you like to see that for the Oilers, definitely getting the goal scoring going early on this one right now, as that is a huge goal in one aspect. So we'll see what the Oilers can do the rest of the way home tonight, as this one back to the blue line, flipped across the line, down low now for Desharnais by the LA Kings, as the face-off was inside the Oilers territory. Back to the blue line, picked up. Moore's going to fire along the boards. Arvidsson battling, knocked down again by Desharnais, and Oilers fans are waving the pom-poms in full effect here, as this one comes back now for Desharnais, as that'll be Moore bumping him hard. That's the first time we've seen that tonight against Desharnais, as Kulak draws the first assist, and the only assist on the marker from Evander Kane is Henrique along the boards. He's bumped off the puck, flipped into the neutral zone, down on the tape of Bouchard, firing it up the middle now over to Hyman. It comes from Henrique, and Hyman fired it towards the front. It was sticked away by an LA King, and it comes free again as Henrique tries and frees it up. Can't do it, and the LA Kings still can't cleanly exit the zone, as McDavid gathers back to Bouchard with 8:18 to go in this first period of play. Over to McDavid. Puck loading up through the neutral zone. McDavid spinning. He'll spin back against Byfield. Nobody behind him, so has to be careful as he does the full circle, and this will now be played down into the far side corner, Kings territory. Left there in an area for Fogle, as it'll be back to the blue line, and Kempe, who's fighting the puck early in this first period, steps on it and falls down on it, and it goes all the way back into the Oilers territory, as Bouchard will see this puck lifted out into the neutral zone on a couple of touches, and here's Englund firing it in to the Oilers zone. Skinner out to play it along the boards, jams up Fiala there, and the Oilers bobble it back into the neutral zone. And I mean, how much the Oilers are just bobbling the puck into the neutral zone just at the perfect right times late in this series as it keeps going along, and now a 3-1 series lead for the Oilers has just been remarkable. I mean, you watch the work in that late going of third period against the LA Kings in Game 4. It was amazing. And now early on tonight, the Oilers just simply keeping the Kings to the outside and have a 1-0 lead on 2 shots. That's fantastic thus far. As Epiphany, welcome aboard this evening. Glad to see you in the chat as this one continues to go. As wishing Mr. Epiphany all the best as we continue to roll here tonight into a commercial break. What's this? A commercial break? Well, friends, thanks to, we'll once again thank those that slop down the super chats early and often there in the pregame portion. David Blingman twice over. David once and Blingman twice. They slapped down some good old super chats, so we'll stay commercial free here in this first period and through the first intermission, as that is the promise to me. If you guys ever feel like doing it, I definitely want to make sure I'm doing the best to help you out back the other way and make it an easier viewing experience. As friends, the Oilers up 1-0 over top of the LA Kings. That's got me confused, but hey, maybe the Oilers plan is, of course, like we were hoping it would be when we bought it, the lucky thing that gets the job done. So let's go here, friends, just quickly. Again, I guess we should probably flash this graphic, actually. If you're enjoying the play-by-play and you want to come back for whether it be round 2 or game 6, whatever comes next for the Edmonton Oilers, I'd love to have you aboard. Tonight we're looking for 15,425 subscribers by game's end, and I will tell you right now, as it currently is, just to refresh the numbers, we are at 15,391, so give or take 34 away from that happening this evening. And I'd like to thank everybody that has joined up on the Dolynny TV here this evening. It has been definitely appreciative to have you aboard as Rigger. Welcome aboard as well. Thank you so much for obviously the super chat as well. We'll get you the heart, and we're back to play-by-play action here, friends. Right in on net, the Oilers come hallway, faked towards the net, and then it was Perry chopping it in on Mr. David Riddick right off the face-off coming out of the commercial break. The Edmonton Oilers almost find a way to get things going early on, and Skinner and Riddick. Obviously, dueling here again tonight, but the Oilers getting the best of Mr. David Riddick early on. Only 2 or 3 shots on net, and so far the lone goal in the hockey game. Remember, they sat on 1 all game last game, so we'll see if they can do it again here tonight as 7:10 to go in the first period. Puck's back down along the far side wall inside the Kings' territory. I'm going to be really glad to be done saying Kings, hopefully by maybe the end of 60 tonight, as this one's an icing inside the Oilers zone, so we'll have a face-off back in LA King territory. 6:59 to go. Perry hurting after that shift. He's thinking about throwing some more hits. He's all of a sudden nods the head, sits down. I'm not hurting no more. We're ready to get back to war. As Perry 10 goals and 22 points in 34 career series clinching games. So he's the guy, as all you would say. You would say he's the guy we're looking for that pivotal goal tonight. As it's an offside at the Kings line, we continue to wait for this period to come to an end here tonight, as this first period has had some not crazy delays, but it has definitely taken its sweet time coming to an end as we continue along. Doughty's complaining about a slash on the hands that went uncalled. 7-3, the shots on goal for the LA Kings, as this one will come back down for David Riddick. 6:50 along the wall here is Bouchard tied up more, and it's picked up in possession for Draisaitl across to the far side. Ekholm fires back up into the LA Kings territory. Gavrikov eats a wicked slash there from Evander Kane, and he just basically was able to dump it back inside Oilers territory. Arvidsson chasing down Ekholm. They've been battling all night, and Arvidsson wins that one, and then eats an extra pop from Mr. Matthias Ekholm for it, as this one goes back the other way into the middle of the ice. It's picked up by Bouchard across the line now for Nugent Hopkins. Picked up by Draisaitl. Draisaitl's looking down low along the boards for Kane. Kane reverses back to Draisaitl, shielding the puck away from Gavrikov. Perfect find for Bouchard, who's got Desharnais out there. Bouchard pounds it on net. 92.1 mile an hour CJ 92. Evan Bouchard getting the shot on David Riddick just like that. So you like to see it right there. A 90+ mile an hour shot in one of the best rock stations in all of Alberta. CJ 92 getting a little shout out here on the Dolynny TV play-by-play broadcast. As friends, I know a couple of people that have the old CJ 92 banner board actually hung up in the garage down here. It's pretty retro. It's pretty cool, I have to say that. If you know at all anything about Calgary, you know what I'm talking about. 6 minutes to go in the first period. The Oilers have climbed up to 4 shots on goal here in this first period, as now it is David Riddick, 1 for 4 on the shots or goals department so far, as Byfield will play ahead. He's going to try and outspeed Desharnais in the corner. Desharnais seals him off, though. Vinny is an absolute monster these playoffs. He's getting his flowers as deserved, as Kempe is going to fire the shot blocked in front. 5:42 to go in this first period. Around to the end wall. Bounces up to Kempe, back to the blue line. He's not fighting the puck there. That's what confused me on that one. As it comes back down low, picked up now by Byfield. He'll fire it around the boards to the far side, and it comes out into the middle of the ice for the LA Kings. Looking to make the play up the middle. It comes again for Doughty, who still hasn't gotten that call so far here in the first period. Spence across the line, backhand towards the net, goes wide. The Oilers and the Kings are playing clock now. 5:10 to go, and the Oilers rushing on towards the net. Hauled down Foegele, and we'll have a stoppage as one David Riddick covers up. And we will have a stoppage in play with 5:04 to go in this first period, as that was a beauty of a rush, as Foegele looks poised to have one of those Foegele-esque games that say he's about to break out the next time he's on the ice. So, friends, if you haven't left a like yet on the stream, what are you waiting for? The Oilers are up 1-0, and we're in for a good hockey game the rest of the way home. Again, what I will tell you, I know I stress the like button. Basically what it does is it tells YouTube to suggest the stream. It tells Google to suggest the stream, and then everybody piles in here late in the third period, possibly in overtime. We really get crazy and wound up for what is a good finish to the game every time out. So, Mr. Doom, welcome aboard as well. And Epiphany, of course, with the good old little chirps about the game right there, asking when we're going to get our first penalty game. Well, you can tell him I'd say sometime midway through the second period, similar to last game. It's going to take something pretty egregious tonight to get a penalty, knowing where the Oilers have been and knowing that the LA Kings are riding the over the way they are. And we continue to roll along here tonight, friends, as I think we welcome Magic into the stream and Mr. Doom as well. As nice to see the Oilers up after I had to miss the first due to a bit of grocery shopping. Well, I hope you had 6:30 Ched on the old audio at somehow, some way, as the Oilers continue to try and bring home this hockey game tonight. It is going to be interesting to see if they can do it, but they're up 1-0 at least in this moment, as Mattias Ekholm, 12 seasons with the Nashville Predators, 2011 to 2023. Of course, former teammates with Victor Arvidsson, and both teammates have been going battling at it along the walls inside the Oilers zone tonight. As Rodolfo, welcome in. Glad to have you along from Chile tonight. As we get things going with Scott as well, joining the chat, and Rigger saying that we need to get another goal before the end of the period. Well, I will tell you, the Oilers need to do that little bit of extra work here tonight in this first period to kind of hopefully solidify what could be a lead to sit on the rest of the way home based on how they played game number 4, as this one's along the far side wall, now back in behind for Mattias Ekholm with 4:43 to go in this first period of play. 7-4 the shots on goal for LA, as the Oilers look to refresh the skate up the ice, and it'll be to the near side for Bouchard, chipping on in, and Hyman's going to go chasing against Matt Roy. I'm not sure what they're ruling this puck here for the Oilers. Is it an icing call, or do we have a penalty upcoming? As Hyman will skate back, and it looks like we will have a penalty, or not a penalty, sorry, an icing call upcoming against the Edmonton Oilers, as this is a shot there. Oh no, Bouchard just felt pressure and decided instead to ice the puck instead of turning it around. 4:29 to go in this first period. Connor McDavid's line will start inside their own zone. 1-0 here in this first period of play. 4:29 on the clock is the big part. The Oilers still have plenty of time to get another couple of shots, but instead a shot from the outside, top of the dots there. Stuart Skinner will make the save on Kevin Fiala, who all of a sudden has gone quiet here in this period. So we continue to roll, friends, with 4:24 to go in this first period of play. We are expecting what should be a good finish to tonight's hockey game. And of course, it'll be set up heavily by what the Oilers do in the final few minutes of each period here tonight. 4-1 in potential series clinching games in the McDavid era. Picked up off the face-off. Back inside the Oilers zone will come as they rule the face-off. Not valid. Corey Perry talking things over with the referee and linesman here, as 16-7 the face-offs for the LA Kings. A nice face-off poke there by the Edmonton Oilers to push it forward over to the zone and force the LA Kings to dump it back into the point. The shot from Doughty through traffic hits somebody in front. Another block shot for the Edmonton Oilers. Perry leads ahead, tips into the Oilers' end. Onside, although I'd suspect maybe Dylan Holloway on review would be offside, as it's up along the wall and batted out by the LA Kings. Back the other way, here comes Dubois coming across the line towards the net. It's fought off there by the Oilers, and that's another good closeout on what was a potential scoring opportunity for the LA Kings. 3:45 to go in this first period of play. Puck is up over top of the glass into the netting in behind David Riddick. 9-4 the shots now ace for the Edmonton Oilers. Daniel, welcome in if I missed you, and Gary, welcome in as well, as we keep things going here in this period. And obviously Johnny, welcome aboard as we get things rolling towards what could be the last few minutes of this first period, and what could be a very important last few minutes, that's for sure. As Dubois had some words for somebody. 1 goal, 4 shots in the series for Pierre-Luc Dubois. So, I mean, at least he has a goal for them. That's not bad at all, as this will be fired out by the LA Kings off the face-off all the way down to Stuart Skinner, who scoops up. He tried to play the puck, but Desharnais just kind of skated a little too close for comfort, and instead the referee will push the whistle, blow the whistle, whatever you want to say. 3:32 to go. Can you tell I'm an MLB The Show fan when I say push? Pushes the button. Let's go. Let's get that content live. It's plans for after the game here. Wind down with a little bit of MLB The Show. Maybe play Rink Seasons game. Try and go 5-0. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, you are a real Dolynny TV viewer from back in the day. Byfield pushing this off the face-off to the middle of the ice. The Oilers cut it off. Back the other way it comes across the line. Now the Oilers leading the attack. Here's Brett Kulak to the middle towards the net. It's batted away by the LA Kings, and then Kane leans on a man but can't get through the middle there cleanly to get the shot directed. So instead the LA Kings are able to clear back the other way as Stuart Skinner came out all the way in front of the goal line to play that puck, and it starts back the other way for Leon Draisaitl across the LA Kings line. 3 LA Kings swell the zone and kind of stop Draisaitl from pushing forward. Again, Draisaitl trying to push deep now. Instead, Grundstrom will go to the far side, and Foegele will win the battle, chipping along the wall behind as Foegele gets the shift on this second line for a brief moment as Grundstrom across the line bats into the Oilers' end. As Ceci will duck there from Grundstrom, who took a huge run into the boards and came up empty there as this continues to battle along the near side boards, and Foegele trying to skate away with it with Janmark and Ryan helping him out. Fogel's on the ice. Yeah, he's having one of those nights where he's going to push for every puck and try and make the most of his opportunity. Limited ice time out there for Foegele tonight as Janmark's down into the corner here inside the Oilers' offensive zone. Back to the blue line. The Kings force it out. Arvidsson pushes it back into the neutral territory, and here comes Derek Ryan hoping to catch the Kings on a change. Janmark backhand. Ryan deflection save made by Riddick. What a good opportunity there. Now here's a good play by Mr. Matthias Ekholm, and then Foegele again. Like I said, he's forcing it a bit, but fairly so, as he's trying to get bump up into the lineup higher again, as he just fanned on that shot, and the Kings are able to come up with the puck 9-5. The shots on goal for the Edmonton Oilers here in this, or for the LA Kings here in this first period of play over top of the Edmonton Oilers is Byfield to the far side. Kempe dancing in the middle. Byfield can't pull the trigger on the puck in front. $1:26 to go here in the first period as time winds down, and this is where we're at. You need to get a goal here if you're the Oilers, as we're saying, because the LA Kings are going to keep pushing you, and if you can ride off kind of the momentum going into the second, that'd be a huge thing. This comes free along the end wall for Bouchard, weathering the storm of the LA Kings as it's Desharnais and Bouchard out there as they kind of tail end of some shifts together, take some time to work the puck as Desharnais usually on retrievals, Bouchard trying to move it forward, and then whoever needs to go for the change goes for the change. 48 seconds to go in this first period of play. Puck play to the far side for Doughty. Doughty up the middle looking for the pass. We'll flip it along the benches, and this one comes into the Oilers zone onto the tape of Lafreniere, and this one is picked up and fired in by Gavrikov. Down to Skinner. Bad bounce in front. Tapped in home by the LA Kings. That one, oh boy, that was a bad bounce against the Oilers. Skinner assumed where that puck was going, and that is probably the toughest bounce I have seen go against the Oilers. That is tough, as this one comes right up off a stanchion, bounces right in front, and Skinner can't scramble as the first one to it is an LA King, as that shot right there hits the boards, stanchion, whatever you want to say, glass, and just bounces right to the back of the net. That is tough. It'll give us some drama going late, but I have not seen a home bounce against the Oilers like that in a long while, as Lafreniere gets his first career NHL playoff goal, as wow, the LA Kings back to getting the bounces. Gavrikov bounces off the wall to the Oilers stick of Leon Draisaitl, starting back the other way, trying to get it onto the tape. He does of Nugent Hopkins. 5 seconds to go here in this first period. The LA Kings have taken a penalty for slashing, and there you have it. So Epiphany, thanks for being aboard. I want that passed along because it's always great to hear you on board. And of course, we'll look forward to the stats in the morning for those friends that, surprisingly, a lot of folks are tuning into the post-game editions late in the morning between about 8 a.m. and 11 every day. So definitely looking forward to having those available for those that watch the games. So here we go, friends. Literally no time left on the clock. In the first period, Trevor Moore will go for a slashing call, 2.6 seconds. And actually, that's a lot of time. The Oilers could get this going. So we'll see where this goes. As 8 for 15 in the series are the Edmonton Oilers, operating just above 50%. Face-offs down into the corner. That will do it for the first period of play. The Oilers power play will get to the attack here to begin the second period. So just like that, we are lucky to get the power play and hopefully try and capitalize on it as soon as we get back to action in this second period. Friends, let's recap that first. After all, it took a long while. Puck drop was 8:20. We finish up 44 minutes later at 9:04. Evander Kane from Brett Kulak and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scoring the goal there for the Edmonton Oilers. Alex Lafreniere from Vladislav Gavrikov and Matt Roy, the defenseman, hooking up to get the goal alongside Lafreniere off the bounce. 10-5 the shots on goal for LA, 29-12 the hits for LA, and 19-9 the face-offs for LA. So this doesn't happen often for the Oilers where you're tied 1-1 and you honestly haven't looked terrible, but the LA Kings, by every metric, by every measure, were the better team in that first period, other than where it counts in the score column, tied 1-1 after one period of play against the Edmonton Oilers. Friends, glad to have you aboard here tonight. I am going to go take a quick pause. The water thing is just about out, as I spill it all over myself. Now it's out. And I guess what we should say is K-Ferg is curious. Friends, I'm glad I've got you a little bit curious here. As to tell you where the watch time hours are at after one period of play, let me share that with you. As we are already up over 262 hours on the stream, so we keep this going tonight. We are in for a pretty big stream by the end of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Oilers have in store for us. So friends, if you haven't already hit that like button tonight, make sure to do that while I quickly run upstairs. I'll leave you on the subscribe ad. Be right back. Well, friends, this doesn't happen often, but I will tell you, I lost the dog inside the house somewhere. I couldn't find him. We got it. We got it figured out. Sorry for the extended delay there before we get the period back underway here as we get fired up for the intermission viewing. And I think, well, we got 226 of you. We got 226 of you aboard here for the ride in this intermission report as we're seeing everybody tune in. I think we haven't missed anyone yet right now. I think we have got everybody here. Chris, welcome aboard, and everybody else is good to go. So something else as well tuning in. So I will tell you right now, why not? Let's flip it up because we could be in for an interesting ride in that second intermission. I would tell you right now, I'm curious where in the world you're tuning in from tonight, as I know for a fact we've got the southern U.S. represented, we got the East Coast represented, we got North of Canada, South of Canada, East of Canada, West of Canada, South America represented. Haven't seen any of our contingent from New Zealand or Australia say hello yet tonight, or that I remember that anyway, as we get things going. Jasper, welcome in, as well as we get things going with Venom saying, I've got a great Alberta accent. I will tell you, when I showed up to broadcasting school at NAIT, they said, oh my goodness, where in the heck did you come from? Because you definitely sound like you came from the woods. So let me tell you, moose, they come from the woods. I should link that video here, friends, as we'll get to the shoutouts from where in the world you're from in just a matter of moments. Let me go here and quickly pull up the Cold Lake. Cold Lake. Let's see what we can do. Where is it? I gotta find this now. Loose on the loose. There we go. Cool. There it is. Cool. Let's get that. Let's get that linked there for you. As let's go there. Send that your way. You should have fun watching that in the chat there if you want to tune into that for the intermission viewing. But friends, we'll go to Dion, who's tuning in from Philly. Jordan tuning in from Houston this evening. We've got Turtle tuning in, like I said, from the east coast of Canada, down there on the beautiful island of PEI, which I learned today there is an island or two connected there, just off the coast of Newfoundland, that is actually part of France. You can take a ferry from Newfoundland to France that goes whatever 40 miles, 40 kilometers, whatever it is, coast to coast, and you end up having to show your passport for an island off the coast of Newfoundland. That was mind-blowing. Things you learn when you have friends that go places. Is this one, well, we'll continue here. We got Margaret tuning in from Manitoba. We've got Jordan, who's shouting out Nate as well, graduated back in 2007. Once nuke, always nuke. Wait, no, that's once an Oiler, always an Oiler, but you get where I'm going. Ook, I've got the Ook pin somewhere here around here. As Daniel's tuning in from the Philippines, but you've got born and raised in Sundre, Westward Ho, Alberta. Well, yes, indeed. Friends, if you don't know, I've spent a little good time out at Westward Ho Campground, hanging out and playing ball, tubing down the river, having a good time. Fun, great time. As Jesse tuning in from Saskatchewan as well, as we continue to see this intermission roll along here this evening, as the best hockey captain in history has the nickname the Moose. Yes, yes, Mr. Mark Messier, friends, as Alan's tuning in from Golden Prairie, Saskatchewan, no, somewhere around there, and Peter coming in from Alexandria, Virginia, which, friends, you would know is famous from one TV show that spanned over a decade, that being The Walking Dead. As we continue to go here, friends, we are just about through this first intermission, or thereabouts, I'm sure of that, as we'll see where we go in, obviously, this second period. We've got a power play to begin things, so that's good news for us, right? That's at least something positive to build off of after giving up the tying goal to Alex Lafreniere, which is funny. There's a Alex Lafreniere and a Lafreniere, so interesting that the NHL hockey world decided to bless us with both names at the same time. 10-5 the shots for the LA Kings, 29-12 the hits for the LA Kings, 19-9 the face-offs, giveaways, takeaways, block shots, nothing relatively speaking out screaming there for the Edmonton Oilers. So we're going to just not mind that at all, and we'll continue along here as Kevin BX has grown out the playoff beard, and it's amazing just how much gray nowadays he's really letting into that thing. As Game 5 so far for the Oilers and Kings has been an interesting one. It's been a war out there thus far. Kempe's been fighting the puck tonight a little bit, one could say, as he stepped on it. He had it bounce off his stick and past him, and then as well looked like he took a puck off the helmet. And Cam Talbot just about ate a puck along the benches there on a flip from Matthias Janmark. Has a good reaction there. So we'll see what ultimately comes of it tonight here. As Deku looking for the correct score at the end of the hockey game tonight. I can't give you that. I don't know what's going to happen. I do think it might be 3-1, but that said, the Oilers have to score at least the next one, possibly on the power play in the second period, and then put it away, right? That's kind of the formula they used in game number 4, is a power play goal in the second and then ride it home the rest of the way. Wonder if that will be the story for success tonight. As friends, we continue to let's go over to the old Twitter machine and see if there's anything that we missed, as I don't think there really is, as we'll see the Oilers coming out right there, and don't think there's anything else to really mention. I think we're pretty well off to begin this one, as yeah, I don't think so. Jason Greger's just saying about the stanchion bounce there. Stuart Skinner goes exactly 114 minutes between goals against, so the LA Kings now have 11 goals in this series. And yeah, you got some folks in the Moss Pit asking what just happened, and there you have it. I don't think there's much else to really mention off the old Twitter machine, so we're good to carry on here this evening. So Peter, that was definitely a goal that Mike Smith has had scored against him before, that is for sure. Mr. Mike Smith used to have those kind of bad bounces go against him all the time. Sometimes self-created, sometimes not so much. Stuart Skinner obviously just kind of gets bit on one that realistically I don't even know what would have happened if he got to it if it hadn't bounced. But what ifs and wondering about it ain't going to change nothing. The next one now comes down to one Stuart Skinner making that next save. That is the big part here for the Oilers. Stuart Skinner has to come up with the next save, or else the Oilers could start looking like they have some trouble on their hands. Friends, we're up over 300 hours watched on the stream this evening, so we continue to roll here tonight into the second intermission here at some point, as it was, again, a good chance right now to tell you, thanks to the super chats this evening. We will continue on commercial free this evening. That was the promise to you all during the regular season this year. I do want to extend that into the playoffs, because we built a lot of good, I think a lot of good stuff, right? As I didn't have to interrupt the viewing experience with commercials, and obviously as well, friends, it was a good chance to shout out some good folks back home supporting the channel. David, Blingman, and Rigger so far supporting in there with the super chat, so thank you again, as hopefully I can remember by the end of the game to do that one last time before we head out tonight. That's always where I failed during the regular season, but it is the Dallas Stars who beat Adin Hill and make it 3-2 to make the series 3-2 for Dallas, so that's exciting to see there for us this evening, as Dallas might be the team left standing in the third round, or maybe it's going to be Colorado. Who knows? I don't know what could quite happen, as there's plenty to be decided yet out in the Central. And then it will be the Western Conference Final, and then from there we'll go and figure it out. So, yeah, we've got time to get things going for the Norris Trophy Award nominees, Quinn Hughes, Roman Josi, and Cale Makar. I have a sneaking suspicion that if the point totals grow for Evan Bouchard next year, and he just keeps that playoff defense going that he had late in the season, early on in these playoffs so far, I have a sneaking suspicion he might just knock Josi out of that contention, and you'll have 3 Western Conference youngsters in the running for the Norris Trophy, which has become pile up points and get those plus minuses up as good as you can. So, Scott, LA needs Carter Hutton on that LA goal. Well, I will tell you, we have seen a lot of crazy saves over the years on those bad bounces out of the corner, and I think that Hutton one that I'm picturing, I believe, is one of them. As Simon Marks out of 100 so far for the Oilers. I guess, can I put an asterisk next to it and say that it really depends on what the Oilers do on this power play coming into the second period. If the Oilers can score on this second period power play, which started in the first period, it might be a huge first period from the Oilers, right? Is just get that late call and then all of a sudden momentum builds in the second. But realistically, I think it's sitting at a 50 out of 100, right? Not much to really talk about there for the Oilers in that first period. You scored first, so you have a chance to win the hockey game, but you really got to go out there and try and force the issue on this power play right out of the start. So here we go. As Magic, you'd love a Dallas Oilers Western Conference Final. It would definitely be kind of a situation for the Oilers where you almost go back to that lost era of Oilers fans, right? That 97-03 where it was Colorado, Dallas every year. And those Oilers fans have suffered through a lot, right? They suffered when the team wasn't making the playoffs after the early 90s success. Then they suffered through the post 05-06 run. And then they've seen Connor make the playoffs, fail in the first round a couple times, and now get some good chances and fail against cup-winning teams. So for that generation of Oilers fans that might have been able to catch the last Mark Messier Cup and then come out and now see this era of the Oilers, I'm definitely feeling a Dallas Western Conference Final would be a big, big payoff. So we'll see where we go, friends, as we continue in. We are just about 5,000 views on the live stream tonight, so thank you again. If you're just tuning in right now, this moment, thank you for being aboard this evening. Do appreciate you. As we keep going here this evening, and you guys are talking about the Hart Trophy and checking up. Yeah, all right, sounds good, Chris. As we're just about set for this second period to get underway, so CG, it would be cool if I could live stream someone in the arena or the crowd outside so we could feel the vibe. Yeah, if I could figure out how to best do that. I know I was able to get Patrick in on the old system sometimes, but I don't think there's really a good way of doing it right now. I'd almost have to try and FaceTime my phone or something and then just show you the phone on there, but getting the audio to work and stuff is a little too much to do live for one person, but we'll see if we can work that in later on, especially if Patrick keeps going in. As Michael says, he'd be surprised if the Oilers do not win tonight. Well, I will tell you, for the Oilers, I would be surprised if they don't score on this power play to begin this first period. So hits by the period in this series, 120-80 for the Kings in the first, 63-47 in the second for the Kings, and then 43-38 in the third. So the Oilers have to try and bite into that plus 16 differential in the second period here in this second tonight. But first off, we'll have a power play for the Edmonton Oilers to begin this action right here, as we'll see what the Oilers can do for us. As we've got a power play of $1:58 remaining. The LA Kings win the opening face-off of the second period. We're down to Bouchard inside the Oilers zone. Kempe steals the puck away, dumps it down low for Nugent Hopkins. Nuge will start out the attack, batting it back down to Bouchard. Power play was 1-for-1 on one shot in game number 4. Back to McDavid it comes. McDavid across the line, looking in the near side, cut off there. This one down now back to the blue line, so this will be picked up for Nugent Hopkins. Down to Connor McDavid again. McDavid wheeling and dealing as they try to set up the first look of the power play. To Drysdale it came. Doughty's able to flip it up along the wall. Bouchard takes a bump from Kempe. Oilers keep it alive. Here's McDavid to Draisaitl, stonewalled by David Rittich with $1:10 to go in the power play. The first shot, as that one came quickly from Draisaitl on the keep in there. Bouchard had kept it in. Nugent Hopkins got it to McDavid, and then Draisaitl ripped it across, as this one will be a face-off to the right, or left, I guess, right of our screen, left of David Rittich is the face-off for Draisaitl against no in the dot. 19:12 to go as Draisaitl will get waved out. It was Hyman rushing in there right now, so this will be a face-off now for Connor McDavid. 19:12 to go in this second period. Tap to the far side boards as McDavid will wheel and deal along the far side. Back to the blue line now for Bouchard. Bouchard going to the far side for McDavid again as the power play just slowly gets set up here as it's fired to the front. The Oilers trying to jam it home from Nugent Hopkins. McDavid wheeling and dealing back down to Nugent Hopkins. McDavid looking, shot loads, blocked in front. Took out Lewis, who is down to one leg out there. As this comes back now, far side for McDavid over to Nuge. Back to the point now for Bouchard. Bouchard back to McDavid. Bouchard loading the shot through traffic. Bounces right into the crest of the Kings logo for Mr. David Rittich. That is a heck of a bounce there for Rittich. And the Oilers obviously getting the chances in front, but just couldn't tap it home. There was Nuge, and then Bouchard shot loads through traffic, hits Nuge, bounces to Hyman, couldn't bat it through by Rittich was Hyman on a couple of bounces there. Hit Lewis, hit Hyman, and then tapped into the stomach area of David Rittich. 28 seconds to go in the power play. Bouchard hustles to the puck, escaping the zone with 24 seconds remaining now. It's incumbent on the Oilers to make a quick play here, loading up Mr. Connor McDavid across the line to Nugent Hopkins. Back to the point for Bouchard. Bouchard rips the shot, blocked in front by everybody in front, and it will come out. And this is a bad moment here for the Edmonton Oilers, not scoring on that opening power play of the second period. That's one of those things that could come back to haunt you. Here's Kane, the shot. Fired, save made by Rittich, and a push there by Doughty. And Kane's like, come on, man. This guy's been complaining, and then he's going to do this. You got to give him a penalty. You kidding me here? As that was a good opportunity for Kane down the left wing. He just burnt around Kopitar and then shot the puck on a hard wrist shot and then took a hard shove from Doughty. As a good feed from Bouchard set up that Kane chance, and Rittich was able to swallow it up as Kane came driving in. 95th career playoff game for Doughty. I think only Kopitar has more, as the Oilers and Kings are tied 1-1 just over 2 minutes into this second period. Henrique taking the face-off, won back by the LA Kings, flipped into the neutral zone, tapped down there by Ceci. Ceci goes into the far side corner, around in the near side boards, picked up by the Oilers, tapping along and into the neutral zone. Byfield will shove it back inside the Oilers' blue line as it comes in behind Stuart Skinner. Out to play it as Fiala and Byfield, as both players tie up there against Perry and Henrique. We've got the lines jumbled up following the power play. The shot loading from the blue line. England's not going to take it to the far side. The Kings force it around behind the net. Both teams roll around near side board. Spence goes far side for England. Shot misses the net, and it'll be bounced along the wall there by Kane. He can't get it past Spence. Byfield couldn't get it free either to Dubois and Fiala, and instead Henrique will lift off the glass and out into the center ice area. Bounces into the Kings zone. Spence, game is really starting to slow down here. How about this? Lizotte scores! What a shot from Lizotte from the slot. And that just beats the Oilers. It perfectly hopped onto the tape. Lizotte kind of got in behind the Oilers a little bit. And Blake Lizotte finds the back of the net with 16:52 to go in the second period. That's a tough break, as that was a good little execution there from the Kings, opening up the Oilers as McLeod got caught looking. Nurse pressured a little bit too much, and he definitely drew in there, and that just freed up Lizotte to drive right down the lane, and the Oilers get beat there for a 2-1 LA Kings lead. Right? Nobody was saying the LA Kings are done, but the Oilers definitely had to get this job done tonight, And now they find themselves in a hole, down 2-1. It's Blake Lizotte first career NHL playoff game as well. Remember, he was just coming into the lineup back in 2022. Tough break to start the second period. I said the Oilers were in danger if they didn't score in that second period power play to open up, and they did not. And then the LA Kings just kind of exposed the middle area of the Oilers and fire one far side on Stuart Skinner, who just couldn't believe he was caught like that. So now a face-off. Scrambled up by Lizotte. 16:40 to go in this second period, and this one will not end 1-0 or 2-1 for the Oilers. Shot off the far side, or near side, I guess, post is wrapped around as that's McDavid knocked down to a knee. Back to the blue line for Ekholm. Shot down low. Back to the middle of the ice. Cleared up by Bouchard. We got, we got the message coming in from Tim tonight. You would see Tim in the chat all the time. Tim's saying the Oilers are maybe guilty of something we haven't talked about tonight, playing down to the competition tonight. So tough go so far for the Oilers, but they are managing as 16:19 to go in this second period of play. The LA Kings have 11 shots, the Oilers 9, as we got to see this Edmonton Oilers team go out there and get this next shot on net and start bending the momentum back the other way. 16:19 to go, and like I said, the Kings' next shot on goal, you wanted to see Stuart Skinner make that next save. That was not the case here to begin this second period. So the Oilers desperately need a good response here. 23-11. They need to win some face-offs as well. Getting completely outclassed in the dot by the LA Kings. That is a win there. And now here comes McDavid back the other way. McDavid across the line, cutting towards the boards, and he'll spin back along the point, fire it down low to Draisaitl up to the middle of the ice, missing the puck. And the Oilers are just starting to seem like a little bit of scramble is creeping into their game. The Blue Jays play the Nationals, by the way, 12:30 on Saturday afternoon, or I guess 1:30 on Saturday afternoon. I still won't be able to catch that as Draisaitl across the line. Shot! Kicked out by Riddick. Good looking opportunity there as the Oilers load things up with McLeod, Draisaitl, and McDavid, and across the line now Kempe. And the Oilers are starting to get stretched a little bit up the ice there by the Kings. And this is not a good sign as this comes up along the wall. As this one will be Deneau with the puck in the middle of the Oilers zone, near side to Spence. He'll spin off a Draisaitl as the Oilers top guys get stuck inside the zone now. Batted into the near side corner by the Kings. Arvidsson takes a couple of cross checks lightly there from Bouchard as Kulak will battle error against Anglin. Bouchard gets turned around. The Kings continue to pressure, and they are going to fire a wild shot, does Spence. It's blocked instead by Fogle, I believe, and shot goes around the board's far side. Picked up now by Bouchard, and the Oilers kind of a little bit scrambly here to begin this second period as the Kings really hem the Oilers in. And they will lift down inside the Kings territory, get the bounce off the boards, icing. And it is going bad to worse here for the Oilers early on in this second period of play. Leon Draisaitl can't believe it, but friends, we are in for a game now. And I would not be lying if I said I want this game to go to overtime. It is honestly a game that I felt right off the hop might be going to overtime, just knowing the Kings want to try and stay alive in the series, and they like their chances in overtime. As Mr. Wolf, welcome aboard, going for the Kings. And this is where we will say magic. I will say it. Kings doing much better in this hockey game than they have at times in this series, and the Oilers are allowing them to play much better than them right now. Is back the other way now. Here comes Draisaitl over to Fogle. Can't tap that one through as the puck will play to the near side boards. Picked up by Darnell Nurse. He will wrap up off the boards and play in the middle of the ice as two Oilers go down. No calls on the ice there. Not that I'm asking for one, but interesting there that two guys just kind of erased themselves battling for time and space out there. The Kings in behind the net. Fiala around the far side corner trying to wrap in behind the net and come to the near side. He does. He's going to wrap it back down low as the Kings start cycling in the Oilers zone again. Like I said, the Oilers just caught chasing here. Puck to the middle of the ice. Derek Ryan comes up with this puck. He's got Janmark and Holloway with him. Grunstrom across, Gavrikov cuts that puck off at the blue line. The Oilers tap back to the high blue line for the Kings as this one comes across to Ceci now. Shot fired down low as it bounces off somebody and right onto the stick of an LA King. It'll come free now for the Kings to fire to the Oilers blue line, picked up by Nurse. Led ahead by McDavid. McDavid fires the shot up off the body of one of the LA Kings defenders and back to the blue line. Ceci tries to play down low past Gavrikov. McDavid's able to steal it away. No help coming for the Oilers as Ekholm's too late coming in, and we'll have a penalty upcoming against somebody right here. So that is where we are at. So Gavrikov will go to the box for a penalty here against Connor McDavid. He takes a hook against McDavid, so the Oilers will get the power play right there. So 3-2 Oilers final. I did say that I felt like the Oilers might score 3 goals tonight. Well, I would take that this evening. They can find a way to win 3-2 tonight. Friends, we'll have an update on the watch time here right now. We'll go 5,548 times 4 exactly divided by 60. How about that? 369 on the watch time right now. So we continue to roll this evening. We are just about, what I guess you could say, 131 hours away from finishing this thing off nice and early, the goal that is. And if you also haven't left a like on the stream yet, I guess to say it, 126 on the stream right now. If you're waiting for that, definitely hit that button this evening as we continue along into this game. As just kind of checking the background here, that game number 2 has some views, so does game 3. Good to see right there, and game 1 getting some views as well as we continue to roll in the middle portion of this hockey game. Again, a thank you to everybody that tuned into the college broadcasting there, the Moose on the Loose video. If you watched that, thank you for clicking on that this evening as we continue to roll here, friends. I don't think there's really much to mention here this evening as the Edmonton Oilers are about to hopefully finish off tonight's hockey game. As yeah, we are seeing Trent in the chat as well this evening as yeah, Kings Doughty. Okay, commercial breaks are ending faster than time allows tonight for some reason. I like the commercial breaks for some reason all series long have taken forever, but tonight they're zipping. I'm just stammering around through them, and Drew Doughty's definitely been an active guy tonight. Yeah, this is David saying that the Oilers need to take the body. That is fair. The Oilers also need to capitalize on this power play. Hyman's taken down, and this will be fired out into the neutral zone on a rather soft play there from the Oilers along the boards. 1:48 to go in this power play. 13:06 to go in the second period. Bouchard skating forward. He will tap back down low for McDavid across the line over to Nugent Hopkins. Instead, McDavid carries on into the corner. Doughty tries to play the body. Nuge tried to poke it through Riddick. Couldn't quite do it. Back to the blue line. Turned over there. And here comes Kempe right towards the front of the net. The shot over the shoulder of Stuart Skinner. Back into the neutral zone. Hammered back in by the LA Kings. Right on to Skinner. And we've already killed off a buck. 15 only remains in this power play for the Oilers, as this will be back down, picked up now by McDavid, sorry. McDavid over now for Nugent Hopkins. Nuge looking to reverse it back to Bouchard. This one across to the far side. This one down low now for McDavid again. McDavid loading up to Draisaitl right in front. McDavid back to Draisaitl. A shot denied by Riddick, and he will cover up with the glove. And that is a huge, huge save for David Riddick. Oilers fans in disbelief on that one, as McDavid says, Draisaitl says he scored. Draisaitl's going down the bench, glove tap in there. He got a heck of a shot. And the Oilers fans are coming alive on the commentary here. It looks like David Riddick robbed it out of the goal. And David Riddick did indeed cross the goal line with the puck in the glove. That will be 2-2 for the Oilers if I'm not getting ahead of myself. And Draisaitl is tapping things there. Oilers fans are celebrating a goal. And David Riddick has allowed the game-tying goal by the looks of it here. Is what a feed from McDavid to find Draisaitl. And Riddick puts, yeah, that's 100%. The puck is across the line in the glove. And you can't really do that as David Riddick, before the whistle is blown, puts the puck in the net himself. And what a chance there for the Oilers on that power play. A goal right there as Riddick goes across the line with the glove. That is a bounce in and of itself as well. What a rip from Draisaitl. Friends, we can use this one. I believe it's going to stand. What a rip from Dry to tie the game. The referees just have to officially acknowledge it for us. This is a 2-2 hockey game on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. There ain't no way that is not a goal, as that is a huge break in this one. As the Oilers kind of busted open a little bit here. And now David Riddick's just awaiting the official word from the referees that he has allowed the tying goal, and the Oilers get things going. Donald's got the good stuff again, friends. I don't know what you know about Donald in the chat here, but if you need to know what's happening in the game before I'm telling you, Donald's got you, as the referees come to center ice, and they will officially announce here a good goal for Leon Draisaitl on the power play from Connor McDavid. There you have it. As the Edmonton Oilers, the moss pit, electric. Oh my goodness, they are standing and jumping. And if there was a roof on the moss pit, they would blow it off. As there you have it, friends. The Edmonton Oilers tie the hockey game at 2 on the power play. I thought it was a miraculous save for Riddick that was going to demoralize the Edmonton Oilers. Instead, it's a miraculous goal for Leon Draisaitl that forces the glove into the back of the net. And the Oilers tie the hockey game at 2. And we will continue to play 5-on-5 now while following the power play expiring thanks to the goal. And it is Mr. Leon Draisaitl tying the hockey game at 2 apiece on what a rip from Dry it was. Face down low into the LA Kings zone. Doughty's got the puck back to the blue line. The Oilers now all of a sudden will come alive. Watch and see as they are going to try and force the issue here in this now second period, as there's a penalty upcoming to the Edmonton Oilers, actually. As Corey Perry's down in a ton of pain. 11:48 to go in this second period. And Corey Perry is similar to Mikey Anderson earlier, in a ton of pain as he can't put any weight on his ankle. He's back up to standing, but he is barely standing of that. And Anderson talking it over. He's been guilty of taking down Mr. Leon Draisaitl in previous playoffs, but Corey Perry talking things over with the referee here as this is not good for the Oilers at all. If Corey Perry misses any time in game number 5. Golden Ace, thank you so much for hitting the super chat here tonight. Again, friends, things continuing along commercial free. Thanks to everybody in the chat this evening hitting that super chat button. As Corey Perry down along the wall, he's hurting. And I think the Oilers have a penalty upcoming, so Perry will not serve it. Somebody will serve it for Corey instead. As we're about to come up on, you guessed it, 400 hours on the stream, as Corey Perry takes out Mikey Anderson from behind. Anderson was able to get his legs out. And I want to see the full replay of that, as I don't think there's a good angle, as Perry just kind of maybe lost an edge by the looks of it. Took down Anderson and twisted up his ankle. Either way, the perfect Oilers penalty kill goes to the test again. Here's Nugent Hopkins getting in behind the LA Kings. He's going to battle Kempe, try to get around him. The Kings will now set up the attack back the other way. $1:40 to go in this second period power play for the LA Kings. The Oilers have struck 1 for 2. The Kings, well, so far on 25 seconds, over. 11:20 to go in the second period. Fired down inside the Oilers territory. Like I said, I'm cheering for overtime and an Oilers victory tonight, as this around the far side boards. Kopitar with the puck. $1:20 to go in the power play now. 40 seconds already killed off back. Now here's an opportunity. To the point. Passed right in front. Oh, just goes wide for the Kings. Good looking opportunity in front. Now here comes Janmark. Rushing back the other way. Short-handed Janmark. Speed to the outside against Doughty. Trying to play it to the middle there for McLeod. Couldn't get it through. And the Oilers have killed off half of the power play for the LA Kings. And now 55 seconds remain as they cross the Oilers line. Another tripping call upcoming in a 5-on-3 for the Edmonton Oilers. And here's Fogle. And I think Fiala might have taken a diving call as well, as Fiala is going to go argue his case with the referee. And Fogel and Fiala will be guilty of going to the box both, as both are being waived. That is interesting. We have not seen a diving call yet in this playoffs, but Fogel takes the penalty, and of course Fiala takes the dive. So Fiala, yeah, sells the call to some extent, but definitely guilty of a tripping call. Hiller can't believe it, but yeah, you know what? It is going to be an opportunity now for the Oilers, thankfully, to skate 5-on-4 still. I think those will be coincidental offsetting calls, as definitely Fogel got the stick in the feet, but did he truly trip him? Well, that's where Fiala kind of jumped out there and then swam around a little bit. And I think almost what sold the dive was swimming after it. That's kind of the silly part there. 51 seconds to go in the power play for the LA Kings. Face off to the right of Stuart Skinner. Face off down will be redone as the Oilers reinvest in it one more time. Derek Ryan against Philip Deneau. Face off one back by Ryan. Shot up the boards, not out by the Oilers. Tap down along the far side boards. Back to the point now it comes. Back to the far side. Tap there by Spence, as this one will be reversed back to the blue line for Spence. Again, the shot. Save made by Stuart Skinner, as this will go to the corner. The Oilers quickly scramble onto it, as Desharnais has knocked down two guys. He's going to try and knock down a third. Instead, he fishes the puck out with Ekholm supporting, and it ties up now Desharnais, the center of three LA Kings sticks, as it comes back free now for Nugent Hopkins, flipping it inside the LA Kings territory. 15 seconds to go in this LA Kings power play. Dubois across the line there now for Moore, as Dubois gets turfed by Nurse. And this one will see Moore reverse around for Dubois. Dubois over the corner, fires a shot off Nurse, and here comes Draisaitl. Penalty killed. Penalty play remains great, and penalty kill remains excellent, as the LA Kings take a holding call against Leon Draisaitl. Dubois will go to the box, and you just have a feeling every time he's on the ice he's about to do something goofy out there, as Dubois kind of horse-collared Draisaitl, in fact, and threw him down to the ice. So there you have it, friends. We'll continue along here. Stephen, welcome in. I can't show the game due to copyright restrictions with the NHL. They are gracious enough to allow me to do the play-by-play freelance kind of thing I do here, so that's great. So Scotty, that's what I was figuring too. The flopping around like a fish following hitting the ice for him was what it took for the Oilers to draw even on that call. So we'll see what we have here for the Edmonton Oilers in this late second period, as we continue to wait that next goal in this hockey game, friends, as the Oilers desperately need to find a way to score a huge goal late again. They didn't do it in the first and obviously gave up a goal instead, so need to do this one right here. So yeah, we have got a beautiful advertisement here for Albertans Protecting Albertans. It's the AMA. Right now, though, we're on commercial break, and I'd be amiss if I didn't take an opportunity to tell you right now where we're sitting at when it comes down to the good old watch time right now, as we are at 4.1 minutes watched. So that roughly translates out to 421 hours. I missed it just by an eyelash, friends. We almost could have had a moment to celebrate, but that's fine. We're back to Edmonton Oilers game action right like that. And they're showing the highlights of Corey Perry going down and drawing that penalty, and then Kevin Fiala kind of taking that one right there. So, we've just got a question here. Sorry, friends. The Oilers to the power play. Of course, they can't drop the puck on time. Just trying to make sure. My brother's asking me where to find a Heritage Classic jersey. He wants a special size, right? Just doesn't want the generic throw it over the coat size. So had to make sure I told him about Pro-Am Sports, you know, a big sponsor of 630 Ched's Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer as this one goes along the end wall. $1:56 to go in the power play for the Oilers as they'll cue it up. Bouchard at the point. Looking now for Nugent Hopkins, down low to McDavid. McDavid around the net, wheeling and dealing back to Bouchard. Bouchard looking to make the play to the far side for McDavid. McDavid goes back to Draisaitl. $1:40 to go in the power play here as McDavid once again has the puck. Connor over to Draisaitl, right in front, batting around in traffic. Comes free Hyman, but the whistle blew. And the LA Kings will just stand there and watch Hyman skate out of the pile. So there you have it. As this one back to the blue line. And Connor McDavid just kind of forced that puck to the middle, and then it was Draisaitl ripping it from the slot, trying to find a way to get this one going. So this will be an opportunity now for the Oilers with the $1:31 power play. 9:14 to go in the second period to get this going. So this will be a face-off. One back to the blue line for Bouchard. Bouchard able to keep it clean at the blue line, though the LA Kings coming back the other way. This one coming back to the Oilers opponent inside their own zone as LA will bat through the neutral zone. The guy doing the camera work's kind of losing the puck here on me. That's why I'm losing touch. There's been a couple of camera cuts that haven't made sense here, and Bouchard will carry up through the neutral zone, leave back for Connor McDavid as the Oilers with a minute to break the tie as David Riddick hits his own guy on the clearing attempt out of the crease. And this will continue to battle here around the boards as it goes to the far side for Roy. Instead, Draisaitl's first one to it. Roy's going to see battle one back to Bouchard at the point. Bouchard back over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl down low to Connor McDavid. McDavid back to Bouchard. McDavid's got to shoot the puck on the power play here. That's how they're going to score. Bouchard, though, the cannon, loose in front, back to Bouchard, 94 mile an hour. McDavid, the one-timer, but Riddick had his mask off. And we have a stoppage in play with 8:11 to go in this one here in this second period. It's getting late, friends. We've got 8 minutes to go in the second period. Starting to lose touch here. The nerves are starting to kill me, friends. That's, you know, it happens every game is when the Oilers are tight, nerves start killing me as Riddick's mask was off and Bouchard popped it right there with that hard one-timer, and Riddick knew the mask was off, tried to shake it loose to get the whistle. 215 goals against average in the regular season, lowest of his career for David Riddick. So here we go. 28 seconds to go in the power play now for the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl and Connor McDavid and company staying out there for the full time. Oilers feel confident in the other 9 guys up front to do the job as Bouchard chases it back inside his own zone. Played ahead now for Draisaitl as he'll wheel and deal up the right wing. Draisaitl across the line. Near side now for Nuge. Nuge reverses back to the blue line. Bouchard across to the far side for McDavid as Draisaitl picks it up here. Looking in front. Now loading up Bouchard. Over near side for McDavid. McDavid wheeling and dealing out there. The shot from Draisaitl. Scores! Just like that. Draisaitl, what a rip from up just off the crease. Finds the back of the net. And the Edmonton Oilers lead 3-2 just like that. As Connor McDavid with an excellent find in front gets the job done, in the Edmonton Oilers, oh boy, can calm the nerves just a little bit. Connor McDavid quickly directing traffic out there, figuring out the way to do it, and he found Draisaitl, who squeaked it through one. David Riddick, who's had a good series, but the Oilers able to find a way to crack him for a couple of goals here tonight from Mr. Leon Draisaitl, who's had a pretty good go this evening, scoring a bunch of goals. Evander Kane was also on the ice for Evander Kane's goal. That was a 2.5-minute power play shift for the Oilers' top guys to take the 3-2 lead, but they get it done, and now it's up to the depth guys to keep it alive, as Greg did call it. That's indeed, as this one comes back to the blue line outside of the Oilers' zone. It ties up there. Fogle quickly asserts himself in the pile. 5th goal of the playoffs goal per game for Leon Draisaitl, 11th assist for McDavid, 7th for Bouchard on that goal. As the Oilers' top guys are definitely flying out there this evening, as this one will be back now for an opportunity up off the boards for the Oilers to tap into the LA Kings zone, back into the middle of the ice. Henrique will try and bat this one inside the LA Kings territory. Can't do it. The Oilers now up 17-13 in the shot department. 6:48 to go in this second period of play, as they have a lead once more for the second time in the hockey game here inside an elimination game number 5. As this now Kulak batting it down low into the Oilers' end for Desharnais up the wing and through the middle now. Here's Holloway firing into the near side corner. Loading up McLeod for a half clap. One time off the boards. Couldn't do it. And it continues to roll around the LA Kings zone as Brett Kulak just slapped it off some shin pads. Got it to McLeod. And then Holloway protects the puck along the wall. And he's able to spin back near side. Rolling in behind now. Anglin will fire the puck over to Arvidsson. Turn it over to Desharnais. And it's batted back down by McLeod. And these are plus minutes from the Oilers' depth guys, firing the puck around the LA Kings zone and killing time off the clock with just over 5 minutes to go. The shot steered away by Skinner. There's 2 guys in the net. Right now it's Ryan and Trevor Moore as the puck's on the far side boards as Holloway continues to keep it alive. Deneau back to the blue line, batted around there. Byfield's got it. Byfield will roll into the near side boards, picking it up. Here's a shot down low, and it goes to the corner where all the guys on the ice kind of slowly skating. Shot from the outside there from the LA Kings, blocked. Fired in by Derek Ryan to Gavrikov. 5:19 to go in the second period. 17-14 the shots on net for the Oilers. Tapped up now. Kopitar will roll through the middle. He will skate it up to Byfield. 5:08 as this game slows right down. Here's Draisaitl trying to protect the puck inside the Kings territory. Around to the far side now for Kane. His stick obliterates on a slash of the LA Kings player. And this one comes back now the other way as this one comes around near side. And it'll be picked up by Kopitar. The one-timer from Roy. Far side, missed the net, and it'll be tapped right in front by Kopitar. Over to Kempe Anderson, the one-timer, blocked there by Darnell Nurse, who shakes the foot loose as this one. In the neutral zone, Doughty picks up and fires down to Fiala, who we haven't seen much of since the diving call. 4:25 to go in this second period of play as Nugent Hopkins battles along the boards there against Fiala, who might try and dive one more time. Never know. Never know what the idea is here as this one comes around to the near side boards. Picked up there by the Oilers, and a big hit from, I think, Leon Draisaitl. It all told is an icing call, but Draisaitl took a healthy run at an LA Kings player, kind of stood him up on the hit attempt, and there you have it. The Oilers with, just under 5 minutes or 4 minutes just over to go in this period will get to work on a defensive zone draw as Draisaitl kind of took a jolt into Doughty and sent him tumbling into the ice. You like to see that. If you're going to ice the puck, throw the hit and make sure they feel you. And yes, it is true. Only 4 shots on goal for the LA Kings here in this second period of play. I'm excited to see the stats after 40 because we're liking how things have turned around for the Edmonton Oilers early on in this period. Byfield rolling behind the net. Wraparound opportunity on Stuart Skinner. Can't get the job done. Puck fired to the far side. Here comes Kane. Down the right wing. Kane towards the net. He's battled off the puck there by Doughty. And I'm surprised there's been no extra shots after the whistle thus far. I'm sure if LA starts losing a little bigger late in this hockey game, tempers are going to flare. 3:35 to go in this second period. Puck tapped to the near side boards. Picked up by Anderson to the far side as it'll be Doughty firing ahead in over the Oilers blue line. Steering right ahead is McDavid, though. In on net, he is pushed to the outside. Wraps it down low for Hyman. And I think Henrique might be due for maybe a point or two tonight if all goes according to plan, as Henrique's had a quiet few last games as this is back up the middle for Ekholm over to McDavid. McDavid will tap along the boards now as Hyman comes along, frees it up as Anderson continues to lose the stick there as Hyman down low, tapped right in front by McDavid, and he has drawn a call, a slash there against the LA Kings, and it's going bad to worse for the LA Kings fans tonight as the Oilers fans will try and head up for some quick beers before the power play ends, as a slash there on the hands, or maybe a hook by Doughty on Holloway right in front. So Doug, has there been any sign of Corey Perry? Not yet that I have seen since he went down the tunnel, but hopefully we see him again here soon as this game continues to roll along. It's 9:58. We're just about to hit this, well, what would it be? 10 o'clock mark. So, friends, to quickly check these watch times here. We will go 4.25. How about that? 28,000. We're at 477.6 hours on the stream. So we are just about done the 500 goal. And then it's about topping out that 700 from game number 2, the overtime game, which we got the extra intermission. So, yes, we should see another goal before the end of the period, one might imagine, if the Oilers can find a way to tap home another power play goal. As LA win or lose, I think right now it's looking like the Oilers have enough in the tank to push this game and the LA Kings to elimination, as Scott's hoping for the LA win. And we continue to roll into commercial break here, friend. This will be an opportunity once again to thank those who have donated tonight on the Super Chat button. David, Blingman, Rigger, and of course Golden Ace this evening throwing down the Super Chats. Do appreciate that very much, as obviously it's been a huge stream for the Edmonton Oilers thus far, giving us a 3-2 hockey game for the time being, as Leon Draisaitl battling everybody tonight. Draisaitl's been absolutely fantastic this evening, as he always is in the playoffs, unless he's injured, which he has been the last 2. So we'll see Draisaitl continue along here tonight. 10th career multi-goal game tonight in the playoffs for Leon Draisaitl. 2-minute power play for the Oilers as Bouchard cues it up off the face-off win. Here's Nugent-Hopkins down low to McDavid, who overhandles the puck. McDavid around now for Nuge. The shot from the slot, no good. Blocked in front as Hyman battles Gavrikov. Slashing call against Doughty. I did think it was a slash, but it looked like a hook. $1.40 remaining in the power play. 7 shots for the 1-for-3 power play for the Edmonton Oilers, as this one is now across the line. Nope, Draisaitl thinks better of it and instead cues up McDavid across the line. Draisaitl back of the line, now near side for Nuge. Nuge will work it around, roll off the boards, and look to make the pass back to Bouchard. Bouchard near side corner now for Nugent-Hopkins. Puck bounces around a couple times and more. Clears out into the Oilers' end. A 2-0 power play here for the Oilers is not going to go a good direction. I will tell you that, as this is McDavid leading ahead across the LA line, skating in with ease to the middle, to the far side now for Draisaitl. Draisaitl loads the shot down to McDavid right in front, tapped up off the pads. Bid for the hat trick goes up over top by Leon Draisaitl as Lizotte tries to free this puck up along the boards. He's trying to get it going, and this is going to go along behind the net. Picking it up there are the LA Kings, flipping up to the middle of the ice. Bouchard taps it there, and it's tapped out by LA. Down low to Stuart Skinner. Skinner will backhand, instead play it right in behind the middle bar, and Bouchard will pick this one up. 24 seconds to go in the power play, over to Nugent-Hopkins. Nuge playing this one along, will back and track it to Bouchard. Now here's McDavid, face-off dot, left-hand side. McDavid looking not for the wraparound, but instead to open up the LA Kings 4-man defense. The one-timer from Draisaitl, queued up again. Instead, it's now Bouchard up over top of the net, as McDavid will load up Bouchard again. The ripped shot tipped in front. Nugent-Hopkins, or is it Zach Hyman? Who is it in front? Getting the goal on the tip in front. You love to see it. Nuge with the goal. 52.9 seconds to go in the second period. What a huge goal there for the LA Kings. Right there, that should put them behind enough for the Oilers to obviously clamp down in the third period, as the Oilers on the power play make it 4-2 And that is just a tough, tough beat if you're the LA Kings. Penalty trouble dooms you again as Nuge banks it in. And what a one right there, as that was a ripped shot from Bouchard. Nuge just lets it hit him. And the Edmonton Oilers score the 4-2 goal. And as CS was saying, one more goal before the end of the period was going to be massive for the Edmonton Oilers. Well, they've gotten it. And now it's about what we do with it, clamping down the series the rest of the way home. Friends, a 2-goal lead, one of the most dangerous in hockey, next to a 4-1 lead. Cough, cough. But we'll see what the Oilers can do here in this third period upcoming in a matter of moments. As you love to see it there. So the Edmonton Oilers just need to finish this hockey game off now. You've gotten the goal scoring you need to win it, and now you got to get this job done. As Bob, thank you so much again as well for the super chat, friends, as we continue along here on the stream tonight, as this will be McLeod along the boards, firing up into the middle of the ice, far side. It's a shot from Darnell Nurse, and instead it'll be tapped back down low as the Oilers 5-man attack gets back to work here inside the LA Kings zone. And this one, 21 seconds to go, as it'll be along the wall. Henrique's trying to keep that alive. 16 seconds to go in this second period of play. Henrique continues it along the near side, picked up now by Arvidsson. Arvidsson to the middle, and 8 seconds to go as Blingman, thank you as well. As this one right in front, tapped out of the crease by McLeod. Time expires, and the Oilers clear things up. Henrique's got a problem with Fiala. It's going to draw a crowd. Dubois comes in, throws hands as well. So you like to see it there a little bit as everybody's talking about it in the crease. But the Edmonton Oilers obviously escaping that second period without giving up a goal in front. So that's a huge thing there for sure. So Graham, that's the big thing. The LA Kings would need 3 unanswered to come back at this point. As the Edmonton Oilers, 20 minutes to win the series. I guess 20 minutes to close out the series would be a more ample way to put it. As Blingman and Bob, thank you so much for putting things together here at the end of this second period, as we now just have to shut them down in the third. We like it right there. I like that call. As we will go to the watch time one more time. As friends, I can tell you officially, as we've done it, how about this? If we go here times 4.233, we are now officially over 508 hours on the stream. So you like to see that. And friends, we will finish off that second period with the scoring summary. The Oilers take a commanding 21-15 shot lead, still getting out hit 46-21. And oh, by the way, as well, 29-19, the face-offs for the LA Kings. The Oilers power play doing all right so far tonight, as that last Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal, I guess, didn't count for a power play goal, or they just haven't updated the power play goal here yet, as they're saying Zach Hyman got it. I don't know how that makes sense, but sure. As Evander Kane, Alex Lafreniere, Blake Lizotte, Leon Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman, your goal scorers so far in this one. I feel like they're confused, but I need to go to Twitter to make sure we make sense of this. As a huge middle frame from the Edmonton Oilers, you betcha. Another goal that won't count as a power play goal, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins deflects home his second of the series just as Doughty steps on the ice. So that's the official from Jason Gregor here. So friends, I'm going to take a quick break, run upstairs, as that was after the power play by just a matter of seconds by the looks of it. We'll be right back with more. But again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet tonight, I encourage you to do that. We'll come back with all the checks on that in a moment. We'll be right back. Thanks for being aboard, friends. All right, friends, let's finish this up and close up shop tonight. I threw on the glasses just to make sure I'm reading that score right. It does say 4-2 for the Oilers, right? We got a period to potentially play in game number 5 and the series before things wrap up. An Edmonton Oilers 4-1 series victory. That said, plenty can happen. We could still see overtime. We could still see everything happen here tonight. So here we go. As Mike tuning in from Red Deer, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Appreciate that. That's appearing to be your first one on the ledger. Thank you again. And I need to get to these super chats because I don't think I've been throwing down the likes on them yet recently, as we've missed Blingman's most recent one as well. So we are rolling along here tonight. Thank you again, Mike, as we will go to the chat one more time here to just cue things up here again. As Rory, you're guessing Dallas New York Rangers for the Cup. Well, I'm telling you, the way the Oilers are looking, if nobody can figure out their power play and the Oilers keep pushing through and getting calls, things are going to look good for them to get to the Cup final. But that said, you got to stay healthy as well, and that is where we go. So we'll see what happens. As yeah, this will be interesting for sure. So let's go here as Jay Phipp, welcome to missing you there earlier on as we continue in this one as we're missing everything. The chat came alive there just as I left, as I don't think there's really anything to mention there. I think you guys are just chatting amongst it as all right, there we go. Good to go. As we will roll into, again, the scoring summary for those of you just tuning in, my friends, as I think most of you have been aboard for the ride. 21-15, the shots on goal for the Oilers. LA got just 5 shots in that second period. 46-21 the hits. So LA continues to be heavy on the Oilers. But I think the Oilers have figured out the success from them is not going to come from being heavy against the LA Kings. It's just try and get past them, push past them. The Kings are too slow overall to keep up with the Oilers by the looks of how these games are going on and some of the calls that the Kings are having go against them. So that's been kind of an interesting thing to watch as the series has evolved around, is the Oilers just keep blowing past the Kings and getting some calls. So good things are happening, and I would assume we got to keep enjoying that there. So we will go here, friends, to the chat once again as Rory is watching the CBC Gem feed for free. Yes, friends, if you sign up for a guest account on CBC Gem, you can watch the late games of the Stanley Cup playoffs for free, I guess, if you're in Canada. So that is where I would tell you, Alexander, if you're just tuning in, to try out right there. So we are continuing along in the intermission portion. Really not much else to mention. The Oilers, like I said, have 20 minutes to win the hockey game all told and win the series at the same rate. Evander Kane from Alex Brett Kulak and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins started the goal scoring. Kings scored 2 goals, Lafreniere and Lizotte. And then Draisaitl from McDavid and Bouchard, and then as well, they're crediting Hyman. I think it is indeed actually Nugent-Hopkins from Bouchard, and I believe somebody else, but the Oilers have been rolling on this one here tonight. So then all of a sudden, as David Riddick is getting the poor David Riddick treatment on the panel tonight, is yeah, he's had a tough go just simply because the Oilers have been picking apart him basically tactically on the power play and then getting a whole bunch of good looks because of it. And he's been beat up a little bit here, and that Connor McDavid one-timer. McDavid went to wind that one up, and then Riddick made the glove hand save, and he's like, geez, this is not going to be my night. As the mask was off, and he still had to make the save as they blew the whistle dead. As friends, to say how much snow we've gotten, there was a couple whiteout conditions on my drive on the QE2 today and out on the highways, but we managed to survive out there today. It's not accumulating too bad, kind of in the low-lying where snow normally sits all winter, even when it's plus 20 down here. That's really all we've gotten for snow thus far, so not too bad at all. I'm sure it will kind of accumulate overnight if it turns to snow, but right now it's just raining sideways, big heavy wet drops, so we'll see what the evening brings. I guess what the overnight brings. But for right now, we are marked safe from too much snow at Currents. So there we go. Cool. Do anything else we are missing here early on in this intermission? I don't think there is. Friends, I think all told, this Edmonton Oilers team is doing its all right. Yeah. I'm just chatting with Tim here. Sitting here saying the Oilers are still the better team, but the problem is right now for the LA Kings is they've kind of done themselves no favors, one could say, with taking penalties and kind of obviously having the futility on their own power play. So we'll see what happens here in this third period. Obviously, the Oilers desperately need to stay out of playoff trouble. That's number one, and then go from there as we continue to see everybody else continuing to chat amongst themselves here. That's good to see as Verdon, we have to buy the tickets to round 2. Well, I'm telling you, unless I can find a perfect opportunity to be outside of Rogers Place on a game night, I am not missing being here right now, right in these live streams until the Stanley Cup final when Connor has a chance at home to lift the cup. That is the game that I will be going to. That is what I have said for years now, is I want to be there for when the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup, for when the Edmonton Oilers kind of bring it home. And if they have a chance to do it on home ice, I'm hoping to be in the building to do that. So we'll continue to roll here this evening as, yeah, there's really not much to add. The Oilers, like I said, friends, if you're just tuning in, the motto right now is 20 minutes to win the game and the series. And if you do that, we're going to be golden here. So hopefully the Oilers can find a way to do that. Again, the LA Kings are going to throw the kitchen sink at you now to try and just do whatever it takes to win this hockey game, preserve their playoff lives for one more game in LA, and if not, maybe another game in Edmonton, as they could try and force it back home. But we'll see what happens here. So yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what the LA Kings throw at us. Do they just throw like a tantrum on the ice all third period and try and beat up the Oilers really bad? Do they instead maybe go out there with the try and win a hockey game, right? What are they going to throw at the Oilers here? I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens here. As the Oilers, yeah, we'll see what happens. This is kind of where the nerves build in, right? We got a 2-goal lead. We watched the Oilers sit on a 1-0 lead in the third period last game. But now it really, truly, ultimately comes down to solving this thing for the last 20 minutes of play and getting this job done. As we got some PWHL highlights here. As this one, the Mannermy Homes Ice Center. As that is, I think, the home ice for Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, is Toronto and Minnesota were tied at 1-1 in the second period. The shot tipped through traffic there, ends up in the back of the net for Natalie Spooner, fighting the back there. And obviously, Toronto doing its job, and Spooner obviously leading the way for that team. I think she's been fantastic throughout the whole season down there in the PWHL. As friends, we are going to see Toronto skate away to a 12-4, 0-7 record with a 4-1 record on the year. Boston 3-2 leading the series. They will play Thursday against the Toronto Maple Leafs in a 6 p.m. Mountain Time start. The Leafs desperately clinging for life, and I mean, this is why we need to win against LA tonight. You don't want to have the same hopes that kind of LA does. We'll see what happens here. So, all right, we'll see what the Oilers have in store for us. One last commercial break, and then, friends, we are good to go. Again, I guess every commercial I should really take an opportunity to thank everybody back home that sent in the super chats tonight. This is by far and above, outside of, I want to say, Game 6 or Game 5 against LA last year, one of the biggest nights we ever had on the Super Chat. So, and again, keeping it commercial free tonight was the promise throughout the regular season and is again tonight. David, thank you. Blingman, thank you many times over. Rigger 39 as well. And then you got Golden Ace in there. Bob tuning in and then immediately throwing down, and as well Mike throwing down as well. So thank you guys for, well, I guess making it easy on everybody back home watching. You would see the commercial break come in when you join the stream, but that's about the only time. I'm not throwing you any extra. Just kind of a sign of respect for the folks throwing down the super chats this evening. As Doug, a good question on what's wrong with Sam Carrick. I think it's more of a question of what's right with Derek Ryan. That's the big part. I think Sam Carrick, down in game number 3, lost a lot of draws down the stretch in that hockey game and kind of played himself out of the lineup. And Chris Knobloch, to his credit, the accountability that he talked about is there. And he benched Sam Carrick in favor of Derek Ryan, steady Eddie veteran who's been there, done that with this Oilers team twice over now. And has proven again that he is a part of a winning hockey team in the playoffs. So, good to see right there. So, if we get past LA, who would I rather see? Nashville or Vancouver? I will tell you, I want to see Vancouver just simply for the highlight that is Western Canada going nuts about playoff hockey. That's all it comes down to it for me. And a route I have been watching for years, nothing better than catching up with you in between periods. Well, glad to have you aboard between periods, friends, again. And that's the other side, too. I know some folks just tune in for the little period chatter, and glad to have you if you just come and tune in for that at the end of the day, right? I hope, hopefully, at some point, we get a lot to talk about down the stretch here and maybe the Stanley Cup final if the boys really want to do it. So, yeah, took McDavid's away, assist away. Where are you seeing that right now? I think you're talking about them crediting Zach Hyman on that goal, Greg, I think is what you're talking about. Yes, but Mr. Connor McDavid's had a pretty good night tonight, as Janmark is showing us the side to him we didn't see before. No, I don't think Janmark's showing that. I think it's just more or less there's a regular season Matthias Janmark and then there's a playoff Matthias Janmark, Doug. He has 27 points in 70 career playoff games. That's the big part about Matthias Janmark, is he is a proven performer when you need him. And that's what he's again proven for the Edmonton Oilers again this season. By the way, friends, we got one period of play to keep the old Oilers plaid going into round number 2. Crazy to think we could still be wearing the same shirt 4 games in a row by the end of this. But we're going for it, as we'll see what happens here tonight. We are about set to get this third period underway. They're showing a whole bunch of highlights of Zach Hyman, as I think that puck didn't cross the line. It's actually Zach Hyman's goal, if you believe it or not. Zach Hyman taps that one in. Okay, good to see. I didn't catch that on that. And F1's welcome back in from Yellowknife. Glad to have you aboard, as we are just about to finish this one off here tonight. 1 for 4 on the power play, technically 3 for 4 for the Oilers, the way they've been rolling this evening. 40% on the face-off dot, not quite good enough, but 9 high danger chances, 5 odd man rushes for the Oilers. And now, let's finish this one off as Brad joins the chat telling us all to hit that like button here on the stream tonight. 162 likes this evening, friends. Glad to have you aboard as we are about to finish tonight's hockey game off. Draisaitl and Hyman have had pretty big games. So too have the Oilers' top power play unit. Let's do this, friends. Let's finish this one off in style. We're up over 500 hours. Bring it home and see what we can get the rest of the way home. Kopitar, McDavid, face-off dot, down to Doughty. Kings win. As this one comes back near side now for Mikey Anderson, who will fire down inside the Oilers zone. Ekholm along the boards, as we've already wound off 12 seconds off the clock. Near side pass to Bouchard, flipped up into the middle of the ice, tapped into the neutral zone and picked up by Kempe down to Drew Doughty. As Doughty will go up along the boards, tipped into the Oilers' end. Stuart Skinner out to play the puck. Give everybody anxiety with that as this comes back into the Kings' territory. As this is picked up now by Mr. Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman trying to push past Anderson, instead cut off as Doughty will pick up the puck and he'll wrap it up the boards for Fiala as it'll go across the line and picked up near side now for Fiala. He can't get it across cleanly. And Arvidsson tried to pick that one up. Instead, Deneau will get it back to the point. And the Oilers will cut this off here, and Nugent Hopkins will flip up off the glass inside the first minute gone in this third period play. Like we said, we saw them do it in game 4. They just got to do it again here in game number 5. Wind down the clock in this third period as this comes back to the middle. Fiala fires a shot just wide. Nurse will pick up the puck, fire up along the wall, batted out into the neutral zone. Gavrikov, puck on stick. Arvidsson with the puck now will tap over for Trevor Moore. 18:30 to go in this third period of play. Don, that is exactly it. We got to finish this thing off in this third period. And CG, thank you again for the super chat as well. Let me do the heart there as well as this comes back inside the LA Kings territory. Far side, pass down low as this will be Desharnais down to Dylan Holloway. Holloway back to the point as this will be fired by Kulak. And now Perry's out on the ice. So Corey Perry's back out there. He looks a little shy out there, but that's fine and dandy. Corey Perry doesn't take long to get back in the groove of things. As this one back across the line picked up, and Perry's not offside. Holloway's offside though. 17.5 remaining in the third period of play. 21-16 the shots on goal as the Oilers will see the Kings lead up through the middle, back into the neutral zone, picked up by Mikey Anderson, back down to Drew Doughty as he will pick up the puck and try to fire ahead. And this is a lot of back and forth to nowhere hockey so far in this third period of play. The Oilers doing a beautiful job eating clock. 17:20 to go in this second period as it's tapped ahead there. Fogel's going to come up with it from Kempe, fired in by Ekholm, and the Oilers are just content to wind down the clock here in this third period by the looks of it. Doughty across the Oilers line, onside the play. Shot blocked again and coming back the other way. Here's Connor McDavid lifting into the Kings zone. A lot of dump and chase upcoming from the Oilers here as they're just going to wind the clock down against the LA Kings. Break them on the breakout. And this is going to be shot back in by the Oilers. This is viewing for the soul, friends. This is what we have wanted to see out of the Edmonton Oilers for 3, 4, 5 playoff runs in a row. And all of a sudden we're getting it as the Oilers tapped across the line here. Near side as the Kings fired up, tipped in by Grundstrom down low. For Stuart Skinner, fired there by Vinny Desharnais across into the middle of the ice. Picked up now by the Oilers as Drysdale comes over to Hyman. Hyman's going to fire this one along the boards. It's tapped there by Grundstrom back into the neutral zone. Instead cut off last second at the point by the Oilers. Fired back down low as Nugent Hopkins tries to pick that one up. 16:05 to go here in this one. So this will come back to the near side for Deneau inside the Oilers zone. Again, stolen away almost immediately by Evander Kane down the right wing. Kane over to Drysdale, tapping it in behind. Kane meets it there to Fiala as it comes back for Deneau. Far side boards through the neutral, tapping into the Oilers zone. We have literally almost killed off 5 minutes of time in this third period of play. So this one coming now, a shot fired there by Englund to the far side, picked up by Ekholm. Ekholm up off the boards, back near side, a shot wildly from Pierre-Luc Dubois, goes wide of the net and it'll be flipped back up, picked up by the Oilers. Chip into the outside, Holloway to the middle of the ice, firing a shot. Instead goes up out of play into the netting, and we will have a stoppage in play with, of course, now just over, 15 minutes to play in this third period of play. So the Oilers just kind of sitting back in the rocking chair, denying the LA Kings, clogging up the neutral zone, not allowing them through. And friends, we have never ever seen this side of the Edmonton Oilers in my playoff lifetime watching Connor McDavid play for them. And this is just amazing to watch the effort so far through 25 minutes of the past 2 third periods. 15 minutes remain in the third period of game number 5 with a 2-goal lead, 4-2. Right to the middle, Holloway trying to get loose. Shot fired up off, or Riddick comes in behind the net as Holloway again authoritative to the front of the net, takes it and just rimmed around the shot. As here's Darnell Nurse in behind the net, picked up now by Cody Ceci. Far side boards over to Ryan McLeod, playing it down low. Puck to the near side now for Ceci. 14:35 to go in this third period. Fired down low inside the LA Kings zone. Now back to Drew Doughty. And up through the middle it'll come for Kopitar. Kopitar to the far side wing. Byfield bounces it across the line. You know what's happening next. The Oilers immediately clear out of the zone. And we've almost killed another exactly minute off the clock here as the Oilers doing their best here in this third period. And this one will be flipped up through the neutral zone. Hyman's going to push it into the Kings' end. And you like this, I like this, everybody likes this. Oilers fans just niftily sitting there enjoying this one. It is nice and easy going in this third period. Steered away by Stuart Skinner, tapped up off the wall, and the Oilers will come up with the puck, play it up through the middle of the ice, clear out of the zone. 13:44 to go as the LA Kings try to get started. Instead, just a hard hit there on Arvidsson by Matthias Ekholm, pushing down deep. The Oilers interrupt again. Shot fired towards the net, blocked in front. Picked up by the Oilers, tapped up through the middle of the ice and into the neutral zone. Gavrikov sealed it off. Picked up by the Oilers, however, back into the neutral. And this isn't even about scoring a goal right here. This isn't about scoring the game winner, nothing. This is just about basically finishing the clock now. The Oilers literally playing that defensive-minded hockey. Tap it neutral, get back and defend. And this is going to be lifted back inside the zone. Riddick will play the puck. He'll try to keep it going. 13 minutes now left in the third period of play. This is, my friends, I have literally waited for the days where we can watch the Oilers score enough goals to win a hockey game and sit back and defend and win. Like, I'm about to cry here if the Oilers just beautifully wrap this one up with a bow here in game number 5. Across the line now, Janmark down low event hockey in the third period. Who would have ever figured with the Edmonton Oilers and Ken Holland and Stuart Skinner and all that, as this comes back behind 12:30 to go here in this third period. Across the line, tapped in by the Kings. Down low it comes, an icing call. So this is absolutely amazing to see right now for the Oilers. They are just doing whatever they can to simply finish off the clock here. And I mean, it's that Dylan Holloway chance, the best one of the period thus far, just up off the shoulder blocker of Riddick, but able to steer it away was the LA goaltender, as this one will be fired down low along the boards, picked up by Kempe right through the middle. Kopitar will wheel and deal over to Byfield as it comes back along the boards. Here's Ceci battling this one. McLeod's going to roll it to the far side. Anderson keeps it alive, but the Oilers again right to the puck and right out of the zone it comes. Right back the other way for a 2-on-1. In fact, no, Kane to Perry. Oh, talk about a moment to cry for. We've been waiting for that all series long. 11:50 to go in this third period. Backhanded down low, picked up by Perry. Back through the middle of the ice, it's Evander Kane again. Cutting across the blue line. Here's McLeod. The shot off the pass denied there by the LA Kings. Deneau to the far side. 11:35 to go as it's played off of McLeod's skates by Arvidsson down low. Fiala taps right to an on-waiting Evander Kane up off the boards and picked up now by Hyman. Hyman's dragged down to both knees. He'll just push forward to Drew Doughty. And again, we just continue to see this Oilers team wrap this one up as it comes back through the middle of the ice. Fiala across the line. He will turn back to the point now for Gavrikov. The shot towards the net, blocked in front. And the Oilers will pick this puck up and flip out to center ice. 11 minutes now remain in this third period of play, as that's a huge hit from Adam Henrique on Drew Doughty. And that'll send the crowd buzzing. 10:50 to go in this third period as Mr. Brett Kulak throws out a hit, and then so too does Desharnais, and the Oilers again come up with that puck, tying it up along the boards here. Freed away, and the Oilers' Matthias Janmark comes skating one-on-one down the right wing, past the outside. The shot towards Riddick never really hit the net. It was blocked in traffic. Down low it goes to Warren Fogle. Fogle will bat to the near side now for Janmark. Janmark looks back to the point for Desharnais. Down low, Ryan taps it along for Fogel, and that will be blocked in front by the Oilers on the clearing attempt right there. 10:13 to go in this third period of play. Here's Lizotte across the line. The shot save made by Stuart Skinner, holding steady in this third period of play. Exactly half a period to go, and the Oilers have quite honestly just wound it down here in this third period of play. This one back to the middle. Nugent Hopkins with the puck, steers it to Ceci. Back along the boards, picked up by Kane for a brief moment as it's played over to Spence, who flips up on the puck. Drew Doughty has to reverse back to Spence right in front of David Riddick, and 20 seconds gone in the back half of this third period of play. Right to the puck now. Draisaitl poked it free. He'll fire the shot off the blocker of David Riddick. 9.5 to go in the third period as it's in behind the net as Spence picks this puck up. He'll work through the middle to the near side for Doughty. Fired along the boards. 9:19 to go to the far side. It'll be more. And this will be tapped now for Doughty again as he'll backhand along the wall. Dubois takes a hit there from Holloway. Holloway spins himself down to the ice and it's picked up by Kane. And you can really feel the sense of calm in the Edmonton Oilers game. No panic. LA's yet to really get the push going late. 8:55 to go. The shot loading from Kempe through traffic. Blocked in front. Sticked away by the Oilers. And the LA Kings retain possession as it comes to the near side now for McLeod. Back to the point. Anderson steers it to the middle and is worked out by Perry right through the middle into the zone of the LA Kings as it's picked up by Dylan Holloway. He kind of bobbled it to Quinton Byfield back the other way, and it'll be turned back inside the Oilers zone. 8.5 to go in this third period of play. Puck to the far side. The shot loading, save made by Stuart Skinner through traffic. Comes off the end boards for Evan Bouchard. 8:18 to go in this third period of play. Holy friends, this is this has been something. It's been 4 minutes since the last whistle here inside the third period. The Oilers quite literally killing the clock the best way they know how. And this has been fantastic to see as this along the near side boards. Puck to the far side, hammered in by Spence. Flubbed up on that one though. 7:50 to go in the third period, up and out of play, and the puck will be off glass by the looks of it. No penalty upcoming to Brett Kulak. Friends, we are just about up and done here tonight. 7:48 to go in this third period of play. I'm sorry, it's getting hard to call the game because of all the smiling I'm doing. This is absolutely fantastic here in this third period. I mean, watching the Oilers do what they are doing here tonight has been an absolute treat and bodes very well going forward. We don't usually say that about the Oilers and their playoff performances after round one. But friends, we're up over 645 hours watched on tonight's live stream. We should, by all metrics, outdo game number 2. And friends, as well, just to tell you, the subscribe button tonight, for those of you hitting that 15,410, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button tonight, I would encourage you to do as such, as we are rolling into the later stages, and I want you to come back. I don't want to call it yet. It's too early to call it for round 2 next. But whether we get game 6 or round 2 next, I want you back here for it. So, Upcycle, can we do something together? Well, we can do this round 2 ticket together, that is for sure. So let's get it done. As friends, we're rolling along here, and I guess the question is, Peter's asking, which team is known for the trap? Is it the Oilers or the Kings? Well, the Oilers are playing a style of hockey that a lot of Oilers fans, I think all season, all last year, all through the playoffs the past 3 years, never believed it to be there, but alas, it truly is. As yes, this will be a good one to possibly get that going, Daniel, as we are rolling along on the 50-50. I know Cam was mentioning that there as well, as we are about to roll into kind of where I had planned the live stream to go tonight. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard tonight. Harner Reinsing and, of course, Louis DeBrusque discussing things here on the broadcast. 7:48 to go in this third period of play. Puck's down inside the Oilers zone. Mr. Matthias Ekholm goes in for an icing call into the LA Kings end. 7:42 remains in the third period. The Oilers bench kind of wobbles back and forth, by the way. Interesting to see, as this one will get us going here, as this will be Andrew. How do I get on the 50-50 draw? You have to be an Alberta resident, and you have to go to the Edmonton Oilers website to figure that out. Doughty off the face-off, rips the shot just wide. 7:37 to go, and this is where the nerves don't really play in. You just don't want to see a goal go in. Shot blocked in front, rebound off of Stuart Skinner. And this is the nice part, friends. I will tell you, it's very hard throughout a tournament. Here's McDavid, shot off the pad of David Riddick, rebound cleared out by the LA Kings. It's very hard to not cheer for one team or the other when you're calling a neutral Alberta Provincials game, right? When you're technically broadcasting the tournament, not for a team, it's very hard to be neutral. In this one, there is no being neutral, and that's the nice part here. We are about to watch our Edmonton Oilers do the Edmonton Oilers thing they do the past 3 years, and hopefully move on to the second round 3 years in a row against the LA Kings. As hey, now welcome aboard, as this one will be picked up right here, as this one will be fired up to Mr. Vinny Desharnais, as he will pick this one along the wall, trying to get this one free. 6:54 to go in the third period of play. 23-18 the shots on net. Pierre-Luc Dubois will spin around inside his own zone, as Anderson will come up with the puck and battle along the wall, and it'll be tapped out immediately by the Edmonton Oilers. Kane tries to play ahead, can't do it, and this 6.5 is going to go quick as the Oilers gather back up inside their own zone. Kulak with the puck near side, picking it up. Here is Nugent Hopkins will bat down inside the Oilers zone. Matt Roy will play the puck ahead for Kempe. 6:22 to go in the third period. Over to Anderson. The puck comes, and the Oilers will again just peel it off at the blue line, back into the neutral zone against the LA Kings. It is really crazy how well the Oilers are able to kill the clock in this third period the last two games. As 6:05 remains, the Kings get the attack going up the ice, as this one comes back inside the Oilers zone for an icing call. And friends, in terms of getting up to Edmonton for a hockey game, as Upcycle's saying there, is I'm going to tell you, it's going to be very unlikely I'm up there before the Cup final. I will tell you that. I do not want to miss live streams down here, and I do not want to miss being in the building for the Cup clinching games. So save that money while I can, as this one will be a face-off to the right of David Riddick. 5:59 to go in this third period. Puck is flipped up into the neutral zone. CC bats it up off the wall, fired in by the Edmonton Oilers, and finally, for the first time in what seems like a while, the Oilers cleanly enter the zone, but it's immediately fired out by the LA Kings. 5:42 to go in the third period. Gavrikov over to the far side, and this will be fired back into the Edmonton Oilers zone, and the puck touches netting up and out. So there you have it. The Edmonton Oilers continue to battle. We will have a commercial timeout with 5:32 to go in this third period, friends. One last time here before the end of the stream. We'll thank everybody who's hit the super chats tonight. David, Blingman, Rigger, Golden Ace, Bob's hit it. Blingman hit it again a third time. Mike and CGE, as well as friends. We are rolling in through the whole hockey game tonight, just thanks to those commercial free here tonight. So we are 5.5 to go in this third period of play, friends. We're also just 12 likes off of 200, and as I promised you, we'd get crazy by the end of the stream. How about 336 of you aboard for the ride here tonight as we close out game number 5 and potentially the series against the LA Kings? Matthew, you're a Leafs fan, but you want McDavid to get the Cup so bad. I will tell you, I am hoping for that as well. I can tell you that's one thing I think all of us are hoping for, is whether the Oilers get the Cup or not, we need Connor McDavid to win the Cup, and if by virtue that means the Oilers win, that is a good thing for us. So let's keep this going here tonight, friends, as we'll have the scoring summary one last time while we're on commercial break. How about this? Evander Kane, Alex Lafreniere. You've got Blake Lizotte, Leon Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman. Evan Bouchard tonight has a grand total of 3 assists. He continues to be an absolute menace for the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, all right, here we go. Let's get this going here as this one, Margaret, thank you for hitting that like button, is Leon Draisaitl ties Paul Coffey and Craig Simpson with the 6th most playoff goals in Oilers history, that being 6th overall. 39 or something is the number. Craig Simpson, Paul Coffey. You like to see those guys getting some mentions. Paul Coffey currently on the bench with the Edmonton Oilers. He's been fantastic. Andrew, thank you for subscribing. Please do come back for hopefully round 2 next, as the Oilers off the face-off at center ice tie it up again. They are just doing everything they can here this game to wind this clock down as it's in behind the LA Kings net. Fiala plays it out to center ice. That's going to be Draisaitl interrupting there. Bouchard, actually Ceci, will flip it up to center ice. 5:13 to go in this 3rd period of play as it goes around to the far side. Picking back up to the blue line as Nugent Hopkins will spin down inside the LA Kings zone. Kane lumber into that puck. Backhand over to Nuge. Up off of the hand of David Riddick, who gives a pump and says, let's go back and get her back, boys. As Arvidsson across the line, the game opening up for the first time all 3rd period here. As this one in behind the net, steered away by Ceci, back to Fiala. Fiala will bat around to the far side. The Kings rolling around the Oilers zone. They will be pulling the goalie here in the next minute and a half or so, as the Oilers will flip out to center ice. Back now for Matt Roy. And again, it's crazy. Every team that scored first has had an equal chance to win this hockey game in this series. They've done it 4 times in a row, about possibly to be 5. Kings back to the blue line, looking to get the shot through traffic. Blocked in front. Kings right on front. Tapping it in on Skinner. Skinner stands tall. Scrambling the crease. Still free. Whacking away at it. And it goes to the far side corner as Mr. Zach Hyman clears it up for Connor McDavid, who will bat down low into the LA Kings territory. 3:58 to go in this 3rd period. Bob, I promised you it was going to wind down quick, especially once we got into that back half. And this one comes back now near side. To the far side it goes instead now for the LA Kings. Coming now for Kopitar, near side, picked up by Derek Ryan, as that will be Desharnais tapping it up off the wall into the middle. It comes for Derek Ryan. Ryan across the line, shot, save made. And this one comes now for the LA Kings, loading up the attack again. Near side, 3.5 to go inside this 3rd period. Dubois bats it in behind the net. Moore spins off the check to the front of the net, right in front, steered away again by the defense of the Oilers, as this one goes back down low. This one will be fired off the wall as Lafreniere comes back to the point. The shot blocked in front. 3 minutes to go in this 3rd period. Jammed out by the Oilers down into the LA Kings zone. And you would assume the Kings are going to take their time to exit the zone here and pull David Riddick. If they can cue things up, Riddick out of the net there as he is looking to line things up. The Kings going for line changes. Empty net. David Riddick up off the glass there, as this one comes free to the middle of the ice, and this will be Nurse playing it over to Kane, flipping into the neutral zone. 2.5 to go to here in this 3rd period. Shot fired down inside the Edmonton Oilers zone. This will be picked up now by Draisaitl, back to Fiala, far side. The shot comes in, tipped on net, scores Adrian Kempe, as maybe Victor Arvidsson. I don't know who scored that one, as that was right through traffic. 2:18 to go, and all of a sudden this one's going to get interesting, friends. Thank you for hitting the like button, because we are about to go bananas here on the end of this hockey game stream. That tip in front, I think it was Kempe, right? Or is that Fiala in the slot? I think it's Kempe in the slot, as he tips that one through past Skinner. Tough go right there. And now all of a sudden this Edmonton Oilers game changes on a dime. It's not so much a sure thing anymore, but the Oilers just have to bring it home in the last, 2:18 to go in this 3rd period. So let's go. This will be an opportunity for the Kings. And I mean, hey, I was cheering for overtime, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Like, I'll be upset if this one goes to the dramatics of overtime. Is this backhanded off the wall? Fourth of the playoffs for Kempe here as this comes back into the neutral zone. Roy and Fiala, the assists on the marker. 2 minutes to go in this third period of play as it comes back across the line. Fired back to the far side, and $1:52 to go here in this third period of play. The Kings have it at the blue line. Spence spins back down low. Bouchard will tap this one up to the middle, and here come the Oilers through the middle. They've got David Riddick on a 2-on-1. Nuge across, plays the puck, looking for the pass to the middle. The Oilers shoot it down and can't do it. As $1:30 to go, as Riddick is flexing something out in the crease, and the Kings looking to get back the other way as the extra man hits the ice for LA. Net empty. $1:22 to go in this third period to play in behind the net. Fiala to the far side. $1:16 now remaining in the third period. To the far side it goes as the Kings set up the attack again, trying to push towards the net. Can't do it. Back now to the blue line. There is Doughty over near side now for Kempe. Kempe risks the shot on net, blocked there by the Oilers. Quickly finds a stick. LA Kings back door for Deneau. Can't do it. Diving for that puck was Derek Ryan. Far side. Arvidsson taps down low. 50 seconds to go in this third period of play. Puck now back to the blue line. Pass over now for Fiala. Down low, interrupted by the Oilers. 39.6 seconds to go in the third period. Tap to the blue line. The Kings keeping it going here as this comes. Now near side, 28 seconds remain as it ties up along the wall. The Oilers are going to escape the zone. Here's Draisaitl bidding for the hat trick. Hauled down, penalty coming up to the LA Kings, and a fist bump from Leon Draisaitl as the Oilers, with 19.7 seconds to go in this third period, have an opportunity now to finish this one off on the power play and a face-off inside LA's zone with puck possession here in this third period. Oh my goodness, friends. What a finish in this one for the Edmonton Oilers as it came back and the Kings just couldn't hold the zone, and then back the other way. Deneau just finally hooked Draisaitl, and they will take the penalty there to try and make sure the empty netter doesn't count for the Oilers, as it will be a face-off as Draisaitl's big fist pump. Somebody get that on a poster right there. That was massive. 19.7. Hiller is furious here in this late stages of the third period. 26-21 the shots on goal. Deneau is still just now being ushered to the box. Jeez, this is going to be some big energy to finish out this third period from Oilers fans here. 19.7 seconds to go as this one is going to wind down, friends, in the Edmonton Oilers. Trying to cue up the face-off one last time to finish off this game. McDavid's talking things over with Evan Bouchard as the Oilers need a goal here to put the game out of reach. And obviously 19.7, I'm thinking you're safe to say, but you never want to say, as the Kings did cut it down, as this one will be a face-off inside the Kings zone. Picked up now by the Oilers. Draisaitl for the hat-trick. Glove hand save on David Riddick. Ekholm keeps the puck alive. He'll fire it into the near side corner. Bring it home. 6-5-4-3. In front of the Oilers bench, McDavid with the puck. We are going to round number 2. The Edmonton Oilers defeat the LA Kings in a 1-goal game, 4-3 in Game 5. Free and clear. We are going to Banff Friday night, and we are going to have a good time, maybe Saturday in Edmonton if I have a few moments, but got to get back to Southern Alberta for ball. It is Chris Knobloch's first NHL playoff victory, series victory that is, as the Edmonton Oilers take it home 4-1 the series against the LA Kings, friends. That feels good. Oh my goodness, that was the third period we all wanted to see, and the Edmonton Oilers bring it home in good fashion down the stretch in this evening's hockey game. Thank you so much for being aboard this evening, friends. Let's break it down a little bit, how it finished up. Stuart Skinner wins 4, loses 1 to begin the playoffs. He ends up with a lot of saves in this one, I'll tell you that. 19 out of 21 handshakes on the ice between the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. A third straight year the LA Kings go over to the first round. And a lot of questions. I think the biggest question will be Rob Blake and kind of where the direction of the organization goes from here for the LA Kings. Is Kopitar in his 16th season, Doughty in his 15th season, as the Oilers and Kings at center ice seal up round number 1. As the Oilers, Stuart Skinner, what a fantastic performance, obviously, in this hockey game tonight for Stuart Skinner. Obviously in the series after games 1 and 2, to quiet the doubters, to seal off what was an amazing series for him. He's going to finish with like a 2.65 goals against average. I will tell you, the Oilers will win a lot of series if they indeed keep the goals under 3 per game. So friends, the Edmonton Oilers win round 1 and will go to round 2. So let's quickly recap this on the post game, shall we? And then get on with our nights and celebrating accordingly. Friends, to the post game we go. This is Dolynny TV, friends. The Edmonton Oilers are going on to round number 2 for another year in a row, third year in fact, beating the LA Kings in, 5 games this time, as some speculated in the chat on the live stream tonight. 7, 6, 5. We meet them next year. It's going to be a sweep, ain't it? As the Oilers have worked down the LA Kings game by game by game over the past few series. And now, again, in the year 2024, we will play Final 8 hockey when it comes down to the Stanley Cup playoffs. It is a great time to be an Oilers fan. It's been a great couple of years. And now the Oilers have a chance to do something they ain't done yet. And that is get to the Stanley Cup final. Gene Principe on the ice with Leon Draisaitl, the building exploding inside Rogers Place right now, as Draisaitl tries to bring home the interview right now for the Edmonton Oilers. It has been an incredible game. I think to recap this one tonight, it is exactly the same effort you saw in the third period last time out in Game 4 that wins the Oilers the game and the series in game number 5. Incredible to watch the Oilers do that tonight. Draisaitl, a multi-goal game. Friends, I think the biggest thing here tonight for the Oilers, and I will keep this short and sweet, is the fact that they didn't waste time, right? They went out, got the first goal. They never truly sat back and lost the game against the LA Kings at any function. They weren't winning it, but they weren't losing it at the same rate. And that's the big part here for the Oilers tonight, is they just tidily take care of business and move on to round number 2. The big question mark now is, can they continue this against a Vancouver, against a Nashville, who have had very low scoring series so far against each other? And then can you do it against maybe a Dallas, against a Colorado? Can you do it against a Vegas? Are you going to be able to do it? That is going to be the question here, as the Oilers and Kings are done in round 1 following 5 games and a 4-1 series victory, as Lou DeBrusque gets a little stick tap there from Leon Draisaitl going off the ice. Friends, the Edmonton Oilers win the series, and that will do it for the post game tonight. I'm tired now. I'm going to tell you, go out and celebrate, as we've got a big weekend coming ahead without any Oilers hockey to worry about. It's ball season, and I'm about set to go smash the first hit of the year. Friends, I am up on out of here. Thank you for being aboard on the post game. Have a great night. And for those of you watching back home on the live stream still right now, thank you so much for being aboard. I really do appreciate you hanging out. I think to those of you that might be Kings fans in the chat, I want to say thank you for being a part of the live streams here over the first 5 games. Hope you tune back in. I'm going to have to take this phone call here in a matter of moments, but I do appreciate you being aboard. I will again say, if you haven't subscribed, come back for round number 2. We can officially say you're coming back for round 2 if you subscribe. So thank you for being aboard. Again, one last shout out, end of the live stream here as we close up shop one last time towards the finish line, I guess you could say. I want to say a shout out to those that kept us commercial free tonight. David, Blingman 3 times over, Rigger, Golden Ace, Bob, Mike, and of course CG, all throwing down the super chats tonight. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, it was very much so appreciated. And we move on to round number 2 to see what the Edmonton Oilers have for us this evening. K Ferg's asking about the hours on the stream. That will tidy up the housekeeping notes and finish us off this evening. As friends, we close in on, how about this, grand total of 767. Well, 767 hours on the stream. Thank you so much tonight. I think I just want to say again, just to close up shop on the live stream, I want to check Stuart Skinner's save percentage here tonight in this hockey game, and then also acknowledge that Evan Bouchard played 26 minutes tonight, and Matthias Ekholm played only 18 minutes all told. So you look at the defensive leaders, Desharnais played 14:55, CC 20:50, Darnell Nurse 19:52. It's incredible what 1 year has done for Evan Bouchard and Vinny Desharnais. 18 out of 21 shots against, 857 save percentage, but nonetheless still a stellar performance for Mr. Stuart Skinner this evening. The shots finished 26-21 for the Oilers, and all told, it's a game that we can all be very, very proud of as Edmonton Oilers fans as we move on to round number 2. Thank you, friends. It's been a blast in round 1. I look forward to having you aboard for round number 2. We will catch you in a little bit, friends. I'm just literally stalling time. There's a real special milestone coming up here in the next 42 views. For the first time on live stream while live, we have a chance to hit 10,000. So again, it was just a beautiful effort down the stretch in both game 4 and 5 from the Edmonton Oilers. And yeah, it's just been incredible to see the change in this Oilers team since way back at the start of the year to now. As it's just mind-boggling, but the Oilers have done it. Friends, officially 10,000 views on the live stream tonight. That is where I will say my goodbye for the evening. Thank you tonight, everybody, for being aboard. We will catch you in this next round, but of course we'll catch you with coverage throughout the weekend live from the Ball Diamonds in Crossfield. Thank you so much for being aboard.